Oh my god. I just filmed a whole intro that I must have not pressed play for. So that's hilarious. And this is actually the second time that I'm filming this intro because the first one I just didn't really like. Wasn't really happy with it. So I'm on editing day and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna film a new intro. So that's actually hilarious. I was doing a little bit with me can of pow. Oh well, you guys are just gonna have to use your imagination now. So essentially, let's get into it. I'm Crystal. I'm the Crystalline Priestess. And today I have a fun, juicy little reading for you that is all about Jupiter retrograde. I will put the dates for Jupiter retrograde right in about now, so that you can see when it actually is, because I can't remember off the top of my dome right now. Off the dome. So yeah, essentially I'm not going to go much into how Jupiter retrograde could be affecting us as a collective and stuff because, you know, I don't know if you guys are interested in that. So let me know if you want to know more about Jupiter retrograde and what that actually means. But I feel like I explained a lot actually in the reading. Now, I do want to leave a little bit of a disclaimer before you guys actually get into your reading. They are long. They are long. I do not know what the fuck was going on that day, but like I wanted those readings to only be about 20 minutes long and the shortest one was about 47 minutes. So if you guys are ready and willing to like sit in for the long haul, I recommend that you boil a jug, that you make a tea, maybe have some dinner ready, get a nice big fat blunt ready to smoke, like, you know, do something that's gonna like occupy, maybe get your paint set out and just listen. So because this is like, I don't know, it's big. Just Spirit just had so many freaking messages and I was surprised. I wasn't expecting so many messages to come through for a Jupiter retrograde reading, but I suppose Jupiter has a lot to say. He's the planet of abundance. So kind of go figure. Yeah, so let's just get into the piles now. I do want to mention to you all as well, each pile will have a channeled song. So make sure you check out your channeled song because, you know, my playlist is pretty groovy and I feel like you guys will find some bangers and they're always on motherfucking point. Okay, so group one, you are going to be this beautiful pinky purple glitter tube. You're the pinky purple glitter. Group two, you are going to be the blue glitter. You're the blue crew. And group three, you are my redheads. You're going to be the red glitter, the spicy glitter, the saucy glitter. Okay, so I'm going to hold all these three up. Please feel free to pause the video if that is helpful for you as you choose your group. Take a few breaths, ask your guides, ask your higher self, you know, do what you need to do in order to sort of like tune in and vibe in with how you're feeling. And then essentially I will meet you in your timestamp and we're going to get freaking into it, my friend. We are going to get so into it. It is not funny. We're going to know each other inside and out by the end of this reading, okay? I kind of spill a little bit too much in this reading. I don't know why. I'm just like, can't stop talking. And I'm doing it again now. Fucking rambling. You would think I'm a Gemini. Anyway, I love you guys so much and I will see you in your group. Peace. Alrighty. Welcome, group one. If you chose the pink glitter, then this is going to be your reading about Jupiter retrograde and where exactly Jupiter is expanding you, the blessings that you're going to be receiving, all that sort of jazz. So first up, let's have a look at the area of life that Jupiter is expanding for you. And as soon as I got into your energy, I honestly feel like Jupiter is expanding you spiritually. I feel like there's like a lot of changes that are going on inside you from like a spiritual perspective. I feel like it's like your consciousness is receiving downloads differently. I feel like your consciousness is more open. It's like Jupiter is trying to expand your awareness about yourself, essentially. So we have, can you see? I'm like filming this on my phone, so I'm like, I don't know, am I doing this right? We have Aries, I am. So like this is literally about you essentially expanding yourself. Jupiter, the area of life that it's affecting within you, is your area of self. Aries is all about the self. And see how this is like very red and black kind of coloring on this card. It's almost like Jupiter is trying to get you excited again. I feel like Jupiter is trying to expand your passions, things that you probably enjoyed doing, you know, in times past that you kind of struggle to have, to find the time to kind of do nowadays. I feel like Jupiter, the area of life that's really expanding for you is the amount of love that you actually have for yourself, because we also have Venus coming out with love. And at the bottom of the deck under them, we have Chiron healing. So Chiron is in Aries right now. So that is essentially the healing of the self. So I feel like what's happening for you guys, group 1, and this is great, Jupiter, and that's interesting because Jupiter is actually in Aries retrograding back into Pisces. So this energy is really getting you to look at yourself. I feel like you're taking a long, hard look at yourself. I feel like you're looking at yourself differently. I feel like you're expressing yourself differently. I feel with this Venus love card, I feel like this is you getting more in touch with the things that make you you, with the things that you value, with the things that you enjoy, with the things that make you feel nurtured and nourished and kind of like a little bit extravagant and luscious. I feel like there's a lusciousness that's returning to you, and that's kind of why Jupiter has been kind of like smashing this area of life that to you feels like, you know, it's you. So you could have Jupiter at the moment, it's been transiting your 1st and 12th house or something, or your 1st and 2nd house. You could even have maybe Jupiter in your 7th house or your 4th house, maybe even your 8th house. And they're kind of like, they're important houses that are kind of waking you up to how you feel internally about yourself. So you also had stability coming out, earth element. So this is making, this is grounding essentially this new you into physical reality. So I feel like this Jupiter retrograde, people get a little bit scared about retrograde sometimes. They think, oh my god, retrograde must be a bad thing. No, it's just a different energy. It's just a different energy. I was born under a Mars retrograde. I have my Mars retrograde in my chart, and that has never stopped me from being able to achieve things and make things happen. It just gives me this introspective when it comes to the things that I do. I'll really think and internalize things before I practically do them. So essentially a retrograde is just it's an internal representation of the planet's energy. So this is you really grounding into the next version of you. So I feel like the Jupiter in Aries transit is really sparking you to like take action on being the new you, but it sort of retrograding back into Pisces feels like it's like I said to you before, it feels very spiritual, your you know, this retrograde for you. So it's almost like when it goes back into Pisces, it's reevaluating the thoughts and the patterns and the beliefs and the ideas that you have about who you are, and it's grounding this in a higher vibration. I love that Venus is here in the middle. I feel like Venus here in the middle is talking about even changing the way you express yourself physically. So this is, some of you guys, I feel like you're literally over like this transit with Jupiter, I feel like you've been thinking about changing your aesthetic, you know, changing up your style, changing up the way you come across and that you come off to other people. I feel like there's like this feeling of like a reclamation of what it is that you truly value with this earth element. It's like what makes you feel really connected and grounded and rooted into yourself, because I feel like this is like taking your power back big time and really just loving the person that you actually are. So Jupiter's really helping you to essentially change up the way you physically, emotionally, and spiritually view yourself, my love. So that's very cool. Let's have a look at the archetype that's coming up for the area of life that Jupiter is expanding within you. Let's look at the archetype that you are playing with Jupiter. I have to film it like this, like I kind of, let me know if you guys would prefer to see the cards or if you prefer to like see my face. I don't know how to do both at this point in time, so I'm kind of just doing the face because I feel weird talking and, you know, you can't see my face. So let me know what you guys think, because I know that a lot of people like to actually see the cards. Anyway, off topic. So the archetype that's coming up for you, I was about to call you Jupiter. You feel like someone to me that's like really, really optimistic, really like a high vibe. So when you actually really get into like your groove and you feel really cozy and happy with yourself, I feel like you just have this like really radiant energy about you. Okay, so child wounded, light attributes, awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. So this is you essentially forgiving your past. It's you forgiving your childhood, and that's where all this power is coming from, because Aries I am is saying, yes, I have experienced things that may have hurt me. I experienced things that may have required healing. I've experienced things that may have stifled me, made me feel stuck at points, but they aren't who I am at the end of the day. I can forgive all of that, you know? Aries is a very headstrong energy. So it's needing to like take your power back into your own hands and to say, yes, I was wounded. Yes, I had a childhood that, you know, definitely affected me in ways that I wish I didn't have to experience, but it's all a part of the process. It's part of who you actually are. The shadow attributes: blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. So I feel like with the area of life that's really coming up for you, it's essentially like very much a personal. It's very much you at the core. It's very much you as a person that is changing, because I feel like this shadow attributes is really speaking to me. Blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. How many of us have done that? In the healing community, you know, I've done that. There are points in my life where I've just kind of been like, oh, well, like everything's like my parents' fault because they fucked this up or whatever. Like, yes, 100%. Our parents made mistakes and things like that, and we've had experiences that were not fair. You know, our guardians weren't always the best people, or they didn't always offer us the best and the healthiest of role models. You know, they weren't always the best role models. Maybe there are some things that they put up with that you are starting to realize is coming up in your life now, and you just don't feel like you want to put up with it. That is sort of, this is what this is talking about. It's letting go of the blame of all that. Yes, it happened. Yes, it's valid. Of course it's valid, but living in that belief that, you know, all of your problems stem from a dysfunctional childhood will keep you kind of stuck in that energy. There has to come to a point where you decide to take the next step into your own hands. And that's why Aries is coming out, because you need to have enough self-love to stop repeating the same patterns that kind of, you know, kept you feeling stuck and stagnant, if that makes any sense. So you are definitely going to be forgiving a lot over this retrograde period. I feel like you're going to be especially kind of forgiving yourself. I feel like you have actually forgiven like family members and things like that to an extent, and you've forgiven people in your life, but I feel like you kind of still struggle with actually forgiving you. It's this self-love that you struggle with most. It's like, you know, other people can hurt you and you can forgive them easy, but you've really struggled to forgive yourself. And so that's why Jupiter is trying to broaden your horizons and to open your mind to seeing the truth, you know, and the truth is that you are in control of the ship now, you know what I mean? Like you have the ability now to change the course of your trajectory if you so please. There's a lot of healing that's going on for you. So we have Fool and we have God coming out, which is interesting. And see, we talked about that spirituality before, and we have God coming out. So I feel like with these cards, it's kind of talking about you being in this new energy where you're more open to embracing the silliness of life in a way. I feel like with this Fool and God, it almost feels, it's reminding me of like, you know, one of the best feelings, you know, one of the best experiences that humans can have. Like, it's fun. People get so misguided in our well, they're not even misguided. It's our society that has literally created it to be this way. We've been programmed to live like this. We've had our joys essentially stolen from us. How good is it to just have fun? You know, how good does just free flowing fun feel? It is the best feeling in the freaking world. Laughing. That's why they say laughter is the best medicine. I feel like it's like, for you, Jupiter's trying to like bring back this optimistic like version of you, this the version of you that was really connected to God through humor. You know, you were someone that could laugh things off, you could brush things off, you weren't so heavily influenced or affected by things you know, happening externally. Even for some of you guys, I feel like what could have been coming up is finances and things of security, survival based stuff. And so Jupiter's trying to teach you how to take your power back after maybe losing some sort of financial security, some sort of physical security, whether it was a physical relationship that felt like that was your safety blanket, or if you had like a job, or you know, something like that. Like something caused you to need this healing. Something caused you to lose that sense of self that you once had, and for you to now be in the process of regaining it. So the full card, Light Attributes, says fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Because I feel like now you're getting a sense of humor about your situation again. I feel like for a period of time there might have just been this like serious Sally to you, and like, you know, people were a little bit like, what the hell? I swear you used to be like the funniest, I don't know, just like heaps optimistic, heaps hell, high vibe, happy person, and you've just kind of like, you don't really act like that anymore. And that's what's coming back, because see that mask? See how he's crying behind the mask, but he's putting the face on? That's kind of what it's been like. Even some of you guys, like, you might have not entirely gone down like the path of like coming across to people as if you're more negative. It's that you've been hiding the way you truly feel through laughter. You've been trying to laugh it off, you know? Oh, I'm just having the worst experience of my fucking life. It's hilarious, you know? It's all good. It's funny. Like, don't be doing that. A lot of us do that. I've done that my whole life, and it doesn't get you anywhere. It's spiritual bypass. So the shadow attributes say using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. So that's what I think, like, Jupiter's really expanding you into no longer denying the parts of you that need to be felt. I feel like that, like, a part of like self-love is allowing yourself to feel, not allowing yourself to ignore the truth about how you're feeling. Instead, it's you know, offering you an opportunity for you to explore the way you feel and to use that as an outlet to bring laughter and joy to other people. I feel like you have the power to turn your story into gold. I don't know why, but like that's kind of what I'm getting. Like your story that seems like really tough can also bring a lot of like light to other people, is kind of what I'm getting. I'm also getting that like it can bring a lot of light and joy to you, because your story is your story. How does it feel to tell it? You know, this God card says light attributes, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Recognizing the eternal force within yourself. That's what you're doing with this I am Aries and with this Venus love. Recognizing the force within yourself. I think you're seeing yourself as the goddess that you are. I feel like you're starting to, this transit is what's waking you up to your true nature, reminding you of your true nature. It's recognizing the eternalness that exists in everything. You know, this is being content with with who you are, being content and knowing that the expression that is you is the perfect expression for you in this lifetime. You would have incarnated in a different body if you weren't meant to be you, you know? You are meant to be you because you are you. You chose that. So this is a reminder. This is what this transit is reminding you. I chose to be here right now. I chose to manifest my consciousness as a human being on Earth in 2022. So, you know, this is taking that power back into your own hands and realizing I chose to be here. Okay, so now let's have a look at the challenges that Jupiter is going to be bringing up for you. Okay, what are the challenges that Jupiter is bringing up for you? Alrighty, bottom of the deck we have the Two of Wands in reverse. So the challenge that's coming up is this kind of blockage in being able to see the future. I feel like with this card, you're having a hard time in seeing the possibilities of what this new life could essentially look and feel like. I feel like you've been in this energy for such a long time that you're kind of uncomfortable now with, you know, how to move forward. Like, I feel like you don't quite know. It's like your vision isn't clear. And I think you find that a challenge because I feel like you like to know where you're headed. I feel like this is again talking about that spontaneity, that beautiful, free-flowing, optimistic feeling that I get with you guys, sort of still being stifled. So the challenge is trying to essentially create a new future for yourself when you still feel kind of stuck in the past. So we also have the Hermit coming out. We have the Moon card reversed. We have the Eight of Swords reversed. The Ace of Wands. And we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse as well. So this Ace of Wands is, and this Hermit as well actually, is really reinforcing what I was saying at the beginning of this reading, was that just the fact that you are going through a spiritual kind of glow up. This is a spiritual glow up. So at the moment, I feel like you're having a hard time because I feel like you're spending more time by yourself. I feel like the phase of life that you're in now is calling for you to spend more time alone, to spend more time working on you, to spend more time writing, journaling, you know, feeling, meditating, expressing your feelings. I feel like your third eye is extremely open. You're extremely open to receiving messages from the divine, and spirit is talking to you loud and clear all the time. But I feel as though you don't always trust the guidance that you're getting. I feel like there's like this resistance within you that says, okay, this is like the energy, like the calling or the energy that I'm feeling like walking towards, but I don't fully trust that that's going to be successful yet. So you're kind of getting the advice here as well with this card, that it would be beneficial for you to start to like daydream, to start to visualize, to start to imagine different ways of living, you know, get that, like, I suppose it's just about, like, remember when you were a kid and there were just so many possibilities? This is a lot of inner child healing that I think is coming up for you, because I'm talking about children a lot and being a kid. So I feel like being a kid, start to try and look at your life through your own childhood eyes again. Start to have a look at what excited 8-year-old you, you know? What would have been the coolest thing in the world if you had known that your adult self would be living like that if you were 8, you know? Start to sort of explore this again, because with this Moon card and this Eight of Swords card in the reverse, it's telling me that, like, you've been locked away, trapped in your own mind for a long time. You have a lot of deep subconscious, hidden, repressed thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that I feel as though Jupiter has been forcing to come up now, because like this retrograde is just making you see it. Like I said earlier, retrograde is an introspection within the self. So for you, it's realizing Jupiter's going to force you to see all of the darkness that you're holding within your psyche. I feel like there's this need within you to like always come off as like joyful and fun and playful and all is good. But the truth is that there's a lot of wounding in the deep in the depths, you know, like there's a lot that hides and lurks beneath the surface, you know. I feel like there's a beautiful part of you that is so open-hearted and open-minded and is so loving and nurturing and nourishing, but there's also another part of you that really can be quite dark. And I feel like the dark part of you is the part of you that you've tried to stifle away, and that's why it has to come up now. That's why Jupiter's bringing it up now. It's saying, no, we can't ignore this anymore. Jupiter's in air is going back into Pisces, and this is the card of Pisces. You know, so it's needing you to see the truth about where your subconscious has been leading you, because we don't realize, but a lot of the time we're actually creating our current physical lives through the lens of our subconscious. And so if our subconscious mind has still got really toxic thoughts and beliefs and habits that it's clinging to with this Eight of Swords in reverse, then it's going to keep holding you in this space, you know, this energy where it feels as though you're sort of trapped inside yourself. Like, you know, you can see in that mirror, nothing's actually physically holding her there. But in the mirror, you can see all the thoughts that are literally just tearing her apart, that make her feel trapped, that make her feel like she can't move on, that she can't move anywhere, that she can't go anywhere. See, that's the feeling. That's why you feel like you can't move on yet. It's because of the mind. The mind, your thoughts are still telling you that you're stuck in this past version of yourself, when the truth is, the reality is, that you've expanded well beyond it, and that you are in the process of expanding well beyond it. But at the same time, I want to say, like, it takes time. This Rome wasn't built in a motherfucking day. Nothing happens overnight. Overnight success does not exist. You know, how many times have you heard of overnight successes and they sort of say, you know, like, my success was not overnight. Sorry, my camera's gone dark now. I pressed a button and now it's all dark. Why? Not even my camera, it's my phone. Anyway, let's just continue, because I just ain't that tech savvy at this point yet. But yeah, this is essentially like, the challenge for you is actually giving yourself the space to get quiet. The challenge for you is actually listening. The challenge for you is actually going out by yourself and sitting in nature and quieting your mind and listening. I feel like you guys, like, you there's a lot of noise going on. I feel like you guys are all, like, it's like you're the group who might love to listen to heaps and heaps of pick a card readings, or is always listening to a podcast, always has to be listening to music. This is really annoying me now. Why are you not lighten, bitch? Get brighter. See, this feels like it's relevant. Oh, that kind of worked. This feels like it's relevant because it's almost like you're struggling with your light. It feels like you're struggling with your light. It feels like you're struggling with, you know, being your bright, exuberant, happy, high vibe self again. And the only way, my love, I feel like you're going to reconnect with this is by giving yourself the time alone. It's by giving yourself the opportunity to really tune in and to connect with God. See how lit up her third eye is, because she's given herself the time to be still, because she's given herself the time to be quiet. This Hermit card is asking you to be quiet. It's asking you to be still. It's asking you to not listen to stuff 24/7. It's asking you to have more quiet moments. And, you know, I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and I might even link it, if I can link it, or I'll link the name of it if you guys are interested, because it really fucking blew my mind. It opened my mind. It made me feel so good. And it was talking about how our focus and our attention spans have essentially been stolen from us. It's not, you know, we blame ourselves because we feel like a goldfish now, because we're scrolling 1 minute and then we want to do something the next, and that's this, and we can't focus like for long periods of time anymore. That's not our fault. It's essentially that we've been conditioned like this as a society. Literally, these social media things, the internet has created itself so that we don't get the fuck off it. And for you guys, I feel like this is a message. Like, I feel in the podcast they were talking about a loss of deep reading, the loss of people sitting down and actually just taking the time to read a good book and to relax into that. I think it was something like 57% of people read now. 57%. That's fucked. Think about it. Never in human existence, since books became a thing and people have been writing for thousands and thousands of freaking years, have we had such low rates of people reading. You know, people don't like to read much more than this shit now, you know, like a little guidebook. Like, sometimes that can be a pain in the ass to read. We have lost our attention spans. And so for you guys, this Hermit and this Ace of Wands is telling you that the more quiet you are, the more you allow yourself to sit in stillness, the more you allow yourself to go for a walk, to sit in nature, to bring your journal with you, to just fucking breathe by the beach without music, without podcasts, without the radio, without other people, it's really going to offer you an opportunity to connect with yourself, and it's going to bring you a lot of ideas. I feel like your creativity feels stifled, and that's what's pissing you off. And it's stifled because you're not allowing this, this energy to manifest in your third eye. You're not allowing yourself to get still enough to have the idea. And so when I say still, I don't so much mean that you can only just be sitting and meditating like, oh, I mean, do the thing that goes out and makes life feel still for you. If that means going surfing, do that. If that means for you that it's hula hooping, do that. If that means it's going out and playing and being a little kid again, do that. But it's just essentially talking about quieting down all the external noise. There's too much noise for you. You are desperate for some quietude, okay? And then the last card we had out was the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So, the challenge that you're going through is one that feels as though, I feel like your worth has been sort of like your sense of self-worth has been shaken around a little bit, because I feel like something security-wise happened. I feel like maybe you lost a job, maybe you lost some financial comfort, maybe you lost some financial security, maybe you lost a relationship that made you feel really comfortable. Maybe it's just the pandemic has had a result on your life that has made things a lot more inconsistent. There isn't so much of this balance anymore. Things aren't so, they're up and down, and they're not always in favor of exactly what it is that we want. So I feel like a challenge for you is needing to navigate these treacherous waters. It's needing to become quiet and still enough so that you can actually receive downloads about what it is that you're supposed to do about this next chapter, because I feel like there's a change that needs to come in about the way you receive money, or the way that you interact with life and with your career and things like that. I feel as though for some of you guys, like you want to do something creative, but your creativity has been stifled. And as a result of that stifled creativity, it's meant that you've had to sort of like take a hit, take a loss. You don't have as much money as you would like. And that's been hard. And it's had a lot had a bit of a toll on your self-worth and your self-esteem. So let's have a look quickly at the lesson. I've gone way too long. I did not mean to go this long, but that's me. Any of you guys who have got a personal reading from me, you know that my readings don't fucking ever go for the time frame that they're meant to. If you get a 20-minute reading from me, you're probably gonna get a 40-minute one. I'm trying to stop that, so that's not gonna be forever, I hope, but that's just the thing. Anyway, 10 of Cups, the lesson is teaching you how to be motherfucking happy again. You are learning to become happy again, learning to rely on your own sense of happiness. I feel like with this Seven of Wands in reverse, this is you essentially putting yourself in a little bubble and saying anybody else's opinions about what it is that is meant to make me happy is not relevant to me anymore. I do not give a flying fuck. I will do what makes me feel happy, what makes me feel good. Notice all the rainbows on this card. There's so much brightness. There's beautiful color, your life is regaining color. That's what this Jupiter retrograde is really trying to bring back to you. It's bringing the color back into your life, because it's bringing you back into harmony and balance with who you are and what you love, and with who you really came here to be. Some of you guys, it could be that you lost a relationship, or you've been through a few relationships and it's just been no one's really sat right. So essentially, as you go through this process of like quieting down and of getting closer and closer back home to like who you are at the core, your childhood you, your teenage you, the you who felt free to express before they had all these restrictions placed upon them, as you allow yourself to really love on you, and you allow yourself to really become stable and solid, that's the thing, becoming solid. That's why this earth element stability is out here. It's becoming solid in who you are completely. No one can rave you. No one can rock you, You are who you are, and who you are is a gift. Who gives a fuck either way? You don't need validation anymore, because you're finding true happiness. The 10 of Cups is the true happiness. Cups is the emotions. This is so much emotional fulfillment. It's unbelievable. This is you finally being able to go out and start your life, and to allow it to be exactly what it is that you want it to be. I feel like some of you guys feel as though your 20s, your earlier years and things have been kind of stifled, because you've been having to deal with all this healing, with all this childhood wounding, and it's made it fucking hard, and it's made it kind of depressing, because there's so many things that have had to come up. There's so many subconscious things that you've had to deal with. And it's kind of like, at times I feel like you've watched other people your age go out and experience all this fun and have all this fire and all this creativity, and to feel like they're loving life, and you don't feel like that, and it's hard. It's really, really hard. And that's another thing about social media. We're constantly comparing ourselves to other people and looking at their highlight reels and thinking that my life fucking sucks. Ooh, listen to me. I'm like, ah! So much going on. My voice is like, eh. But anyway, I've done that so much. I have held myself back for the past year. If you go back on my YouTube channel, you can see that I started this channel a year ago, just over a year ago. And there's not really even that many videos on here, because I fucking compare myself to everyone else all the time. I'm like, well, look at all their amazing readings. Why would I do a reading? And then I get beautiful messages from people that are like, thank you so much. Like, this is exactly what I needed. And then I'm like, I'm an idiot, that kind of energy, man. This is your energy. I feel like I'm probably going to pick this stupid fucking group. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean stupid fucking group. But you know what I mean? I'm just like, I think this is going to be my group. My group. Listen to me. Now I'm fumbling on my words because I'm like, oh, I hope I didn't offend you. I think you can probably tell by now that I just kind of spew things out. But anyway, you guys wouldn't have taken that seriously because you know that I'm not being serious. I love you. I love you. So anyway, let's have a look. Let's just get one card for the energy that is coming to you once you have healed. Oh no, well, we just did that. You know what? We just did that. The lesson. Yeah, and you know what? The card that flipped out as I was saying that, it's freedom. It's freedom to be your authentic, happy self. It's freedom to no longer feel like you need to defend yourself because everyone's judging you about things all the time because you do things differently. This is serious freedom to actually fully express and to be yourself. So this is so exciting. I hope I picked this group, to be perfectly honest. So it says freedom, live wild and free, choose your freedom, claim your independence. That's what we've been talking about this whole reading. Aries, I am. Claim your independence. Claim who you are. This is literally you. Jupiter is just like, claim your shit. Claim your magic. Claim your fire. Claim what you came here to experience, my friend. You came here to have fun. I feel like, you know what this card's making me see? I'm looking at this as if they're the adult versions looking back at their past childhood selves. I'm sorry about my nails. They're filthy. I'm gross. But essentially, they're looking back on their childhood selves and they're going, wow, look at the healing. Look and see, this is looking to me like a DNA helix thing. So this is fucking healing so much ancestral wounding. This is not just healing you. This is healing your lineage. This is going to heal your children when you have them. Or if you have already had them, it's going to still heal them. It's great. It's great. I love your energy. So let's just get some advice. What are any closing messages that you have for my beautiful pink glitter pile? Yeah, doesn't surprise me at all. Cool. Bottom of the deck, we have prosperity. I'm so happy to see that. A gift of money is on its way. Your income is increasing. Manage your finances with love. So that's the thing. I feel like you're learning to manage finances with love because you've lost things in the past. You know, you've had to maybe go down a notch from your lifestyle, and so now you understand how it feels to have less, maybe how it feels to have more. You know both sides of the spectrum. So I think the healthiest thing really can be to understand both sides of the spectrum. I don't really think, as much as I want to build generational wealth and I want my children to have like money and shit like that, there's a sense and tell me what you guys think about this, but I believe that actually having to work for money really is, can be very powerful, because you see a lot of like really, really extremely privileged people who, you know, they're born into extremely affluent families, billionaire families, rich, famous families and stuff like that. And a lot of the time, obviously there's exceptions and some people thrive and make magic and shit, but other people sometimes they have a much harder time. I know someone locally who their parents have so much money and they are the biggest nut job. Like just don't know how to function in society whatsoever. So it's not always a good thing. Anyway, that was off topic. So it wasn't off topic, it was right on topic. But what I'm saying is the fact that more money is coming. Money is increasing. You needed to learn this lesson so that you could actually manage your finances with love instead of just, you know, money's just money. Like, you are needing to find, you're not needing to, you found it. This new feeling of like, oh, I don't need to be afraid of money. I don't need to hate money. I don't need to feel uncomfortable about money. Essentially mean money needs to make friends. We need to have a relationship. We need to love on each other, you know? Money's not going to want to come to me if I hate it. Money's not going to want to come to me if we ain't friends, okay? We need to become friends with money. So then you also have the strength card. And this card doesn't surprise me whatsoever. You guys have had to be extremely strong throughout this entire journey. I feel like this is going to be the longest of all the readings because you guys have been through the most bullshit. So it says, this challenge will make you stronger. You will get through to the other side. Look for gifts in this situation. So Jupiter is right here reminding you that this is a gift. This situation, this entire process that you've been experiencing, that you've been going through for the past, you know, a few years time, 6 months time, whatever it is for you, it's going to be different for everyone. All of that has been for a purpose. It's been because it's setting you free. sometimes, you know, we don't even know what we're, you know, it's like that feeling, you don't know what you got till it's gone. So because you guys have experienced, like, when you were younger, you had this beautiful high vibration about you, and because you had that sort of taken away, I feel like now you understand how good, how important it is, how beautiful it feels to be really, really nourished, you know, by the thing that you love. I feel like you're remembering how important it feels to feel supported. You know, survival stuff's really, really important. If you're dealing with survival issues as human, you don't really have the capacity to be solving problems, to be creative, you know, to be your best self, you know, because you're constantly trying to live. So essentially, that's what's really been like growing you a lot as a person, because you're like, okay, this has to change. So then you also have, oh, we've got heaps of cards out here. All right, we're just going to take all these and then we'll be done. Gentleness. Be kind to yourself and others. Honor your gentleness. Speak words of love. So yeah, being gentle with yourself, being kind with yourself, nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, speaking love and life into yourself. Then we have friendship. Seek out your soul family, surround yourself with positive people, and spend more time socializing. So yeah, this is you needing to find a balance between socializing and spending time alone. I feel like what's coming up for you guys is a change in your friendship circles, in your friendship groups. I feel as though you guys just aren't able to deal with people that don't match your frequency and your energy the same way as you used to be able to. It's just like, no, I just need people that are on my frequency, or essentially just don't fucking bother, because we're just not going to match, and I don't have time to deal with that bullshit. I don't have the energy to give a fuck, you know? And then we have adventure. Dare to do things differently, manifest your travel dreams, and move to a new location. So that's exciting for you guys. Some of you guys, it's going to really help you to move somewhere. It's going to help you to go on little adventures. Like I was saying with this inner child stuff, it really is like about getting a sense of freedom and fun and spontaneity again. So your best advice is to go on some sort of little adventure. If you guys are thinking of moving, then very much move. If you've come to this reading and you already have like an inkling of an idea, oh, I think I want to move, then this is your green light. Yes, moving is going to be extremely healing for you. It's going to help you to find new friends. It's going to help you to stand into your power in a whole new way, because essentially you get to reinvent yourself. And then the last card we have is leadership. Stand into your leadership, share your message, and inspire and empower others. So standing up in your power, like I've said so many times, take your power back. This reading is all about taking your power back. Jupiter wants you to lead. Jupiter wants you to be a leader. Jupiter wants you to stand in this power that you've been blessed with at birth, and that you've sort of like had to navigate in order to find your balance with. There is a message that you have. I feel like it's this story of what you've been through. That's the message that you're here to share. Stepping into that power and inspiring others, because through your ability to heal through what it is that you've been through, you know, through your ability to take your power back into your own hands and to reinvent yourself after so much pain, after so much struggle, after so much trauma, after so many childhood wounds, people are going to be so inspired by you. And so that's why you're being forced by Jupiter to stand up into your own power. And I love this. I love it for you so much. Now, I did say that was going to be the last card, but I am a liar. And I have one more deck for you. And I love this deck, and I'm going to read it out of the book. So let's just get one god or goddess that is here to help you. Bottom of the deck, we have Tlazitl. Oh my god, I'm sorry guys, I have no idea how to read this. I think she's either a Mayan or a Native American goddess, and I'm going to read just her name out of the book because I don't want to completely butcher it like a fuckwit. Okay, it says, let go of blame and punishment, heal the past. I'm actually going to read this because it must be relevant. I wouldn't feel like it if it wasn't. It says, forgive. Tlusolteo. Okay, I'm probably saying that wrong, but Tlusolteo. I'm so sorry. is a Mesoamerican earth mother of the Aztecs and the Huastec, an indigenous Mexican people. A patroness of midwives, she's known primarily as the filth deity. Her name derives from the Nahuatl word for garbage. Said to be the eater of impurities, she had connections with lust, vice, and ritual purification. She could lure people to commit immoral acts, but would absolve them afterwards. People confess their worst misdeeds to Tulu Sol Teot through her priests and received total forgiveness. She's associated with childbirth, witchcraft, moon cycles, menstruation, cotton, and broomsticks. When you've said or done something you regret, it can weigh heavily on your heart. It doesn't matter how long ago the mistake was made. You can go on punishing yourself for a lifetime. If someone hurt, betrayed, or disappointed you, it can be extremely challenging to let go of the harm they caused. I can't say her name, I'm just not going to say it, brings forward the most potent healing method that exists in our universe. Forgiveness, she says. You've chosen a profound spiritual practice. This process may transform your life. Holding on to guilt or resentment eats away at the body and spirit. Bitterness is unprocessed anger and will only fester, doing nothing to bring about healing change. This does not mean you condone abusive or cruel acts. It doesn't mean you forget or deny the harm. It means acknowledging that in order to move forwards in life, to claim both health and happiness, you must work on forgiving yourself and others. Just being willing is enough. Say an emphatic prayer to bring the energy of forgiveness into your heart. I will take care of the rest. Forgiving is not always easy. It needs careful and thorough attention. It may not happen overnight. We talked about this. You need to forgive yourself and others. But seriously. But remember, and what did I say? It may not happen overnight. Rome ain't built in a day. It's going to take time, baby. But remember, there's nothing on earth that cannot be healed through the miracle of forgiveness. Additional meanings. Reconciliation within a key relationship is within reach. If you've experienced abuse or trauma, seek appropriate help. Offer a genuine apology. Invocation. I forgive myself. I forgive them. I set us both free. Yo, you are fucking healing some deep ass shit. I'm sorry for my swearing. That's just how I do. That is just how I do. You'll forgive me. See, get it? Get it? But yeah, essentially so much forgiveness, so much healing coming up for you. And then we have beautiful Holy Mother Kuan Yin. Crikey, I love Kuan Yin. All right. So Kuan Yin's message to you today, my love, is kindness and nurturing. Refill your inner cup. Have compassion for yourself and others. Bodhisattva of infinite compassion, Kuan Yin, is worshipped in East Asian Buddhism as she who hears the cries of the world. Originally a princess named Miao Shan, she was tyrannized by her father for renouncing luxury in favor of a simple life in a monastery. He ordered her execution, but at her death a tiger appeared and placed a peach of immortality in her mouth. She rose into the divine realms and instantly transformed into a goddess. Kuan Yin brings healing for the damaging effects of patriarchy. I do want to say, if any of you guys have read the Sophia Code or are about to read the Sophia Code, or if you have read it, I much prefer the story of Kuan Yin in the Sophia Code. So if you really want to really get like close to Kuan Yin, highly 2 billion trillion % recommend. Oh, it's over there. I was going to get the book out and show you, but it's all the way across the other room. Recommend that book. Okay, so it says, how do you hear the true needs of your soul? Do they whisper or do they have to scream to be heard? Do you ever stop to listen to the messages from your body? Or are you caught in a trap of self-criticism and harsh judgment, pushing yourself to be perfect? You've been prioritizing your masculine energy, which governs decision-making, planning, goal-setting, and problem-solving. The feminine voice of your heart, body, and spirit has been drowned out, but she needs now to be heard. See yourself sitting with Kuan Yin, bathed in her peach-colored radiance. Allow any guilt about being cared for to melt away. Imagine a cup inside you being abundantly refilled by this gentle light. What is your feminine energy asking for? It's time to prioritize receiving love and friendship, self-care rituals, nurturing food, gifts, compliments, relaxation, fun and healthy pleasures. What you're seeking will only come from loving yourself just as you are. Additional meanings. Get a massage treatment. Your body needs safe touch. Limit the information you consume from news outlets, social media, and people who deplete you. What the fuck did I say before? Get off social media! No, but seriously, it's really going to help you to slow down. That's hilarious. Like, that's why I love these cards and reading them out the book, because they're always super specific and it always hits. And then we have, you're being helped to eat and cook more nourishing food and or to heal damaging eating patterns. Seek out positive images that celebrate body diversity. See yourself, another person, or a situation through the eyes of compassion. Invocation. Kuan Yin, refill my cup generously with your light. Help me to love my body just as it is and nourish my whole being with kindness. Yo, that's literally what we talked about this whole beginning of the reading when we were talking about Aries, Venus, and this stability, earth element. We were talking with this Chiron healing. We were talking about the fact that you are healing your relationship to yourself, to your body, loving on your feminine essence. And even if you were a man, I don't give a fuck. You have feminine energy. So, you know, nurturing that side of you, because it's important. Your energy has been so focused on the stability thing. It's had a really hard time with you know, feminine flow. I feel like you guys are like, you want structure, you want productivity, you want everything to be like boom, popping, yo. And it just ain't gonna be like that. You need to heal. You need to heal. And I feel like you need to, you know, fucking flow freely. I have Chiron quintile my Mercury, so I have a hard time, guys, with speaking. I'm sorry that I'm kind of like, sometimes I stutter and I say words back to front and things like that. I'm lucky that I don't stutter more, to be honest. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I hope this was helpful. I hope that, you know, that you really connected with this. I hope that it brought you some love and some solace and some truth and clarity and understanding about what the fuck Jupiter's actually bringing to you, because it's big, it's huge. So yeah, I want to thank your guides, your angels, your higher self, all of the beautiful, benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I in all moments, for allowing us to receive and deliver this amazing reading to you. If you do want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that down below. Head to my website. It will be in the description box. Don't forget to check out your channeled song as well. And you can also check me out on Instagram at Crystalline Priestess if you like, because I'm trying to be more consistent there. And I'm also starting my blog this week. So if you guys are interested in reading about healing and high vibe shit and spirituality and tarot and astrology and all that stuff, then check it out, okay? All the links will be down below. I love you so much, my little glitter pile, pink glitter pile, and I'll see you in the next reading. I hope you have a beautiful day. Peace. Hello group 2, welcome to your reading. If you chose the blue glitter, then this is going to be the reading for you. Alrighty. Now, first up, we're going to have a look at the area of life that Jupiter is expanding for you. Then we're going to have a look at some of the challenges that you need to overcome, that Jupiter is calling for you to overcome, and the lessons that you're learning. And then we're going to have a look at how essentially this retrograde is going to change and affect you, and then we're just going to grab some advice. So, starting off back, I kept getting the word faith. As soon as I got up in your energy, I just kept hearing faith, 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 faith. So, I feel like the area of your life, or like, just, oh, okay. This makes sense now. I've got the cards. All right. First house, the body. And then we have Leo, I will, with Moon, soul. So, it's interesting. I feel like this is reasonably similar to group 1, but again, it's kind of different. So I feel like when it comes to faith, I feel like this is having faith in your body's ability to heal. essentially. I feel like for you guys, the area of life that is expanding for you is essentially your once again, just like group 1, your actual sense of self, like your sense of yourself as a person. I feel like for you guys though, it's more of like an emotional healing. It's like, it's with this moon coming out, it's almost like I'm getting like Leo moon, like feeding yourself emotionally through creativity and through expanding again, and expressing, I didn't mean to say expanding, through expressing yourself creatively, which is going to in turn expand your consciousness and is going to help expand on your faith in what it is that you can actually do and achieve. I feel as though with this Leo, I feel like it's your willpower that's had a bit of a tough time recently. I feel like Jupiter is kind of like activating this area of your life because it's asking you to have willpower about how you're showing up for you. So for some of you guys, like, this is willpower in that you're going to start eating healthier. You're going to start going to the gym. You're going to start exercising. You might even start to try and do that creative thing that you've always kind of been a little bit too shy to try. So it's like, say you wanted to try pole dancing classes, or you wanted to try belly dancing class or something like that, and you've wanted to do it since forever, but you've never done it because you're kind of scared about it. This is kind of that energy where you're going to get the willpower to actually do that, because with your moon coming out, this is something emotional. This is something that really needs to be nurtured and nourished within you. So the area of life that is essentially is expanding is almost like your the creativity in which you actually live your life. So it's almost like I feel like you're seeing like this is interesting. Like, I'm getting this random message, like, and this feels so much like group 1. It's really weird. You guys might have also felt called to group 1. So if you were, then there's probably messages in there for you as well. But essentially, it kind of feels like a glow up, like Leo glow up, and we're actually currently in Leo season. So if you're watching this, in real time, then the Jupiter retrograde is happening at the moment in Leo season. So it's kind of like, it's like bringing a spark back to how you enjoy yourself physically, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of like, you know how we think, like, when we tell ourselves that we have to exercise, we try and force ourselves to do things, and we try and force ourselves into the body, and we try and force ourselves to do things creatively. It doesn't really work out. This is essentially starting to get like excited and a bit more like flamboyant and spontaneous with the ways that you kind of use your body. I feel like for some of you guys, like, it really Jupiter just wants you to try different exercise regimes. Like, Jupiter just wants you to try different creative outlets and things. For some of you guys, you could even try acting or something for the first time, or you could try yoga for the first time. You could try acrobatics, gymnastics, something like that feels like it's a creative outlet and a creative expression for your actual physical body. Your body at the moment is coming up, so you could definitely be having this Jupiter, say, similar to group 1 as well. This Jupiter retrograde could be happening in your first and your second house, your first, second, 12th house. It could be happening in your maybe even like your 5th house. But essentially, it just feels like a total change of how you kind of show up to your everyday life. I feel like you're having more control over, this is it. You're having more control over your physical body than you've had in a while. I feel like because you feel so much emotionally, your emotions have got the better of you at times, and it's made you sort of like not really take care of yourself. It's kind of the energy of like, when we feel like kind of really down emotionally, so we drink, and then we drink on the whole night away, and then we go to bed and we wake up the next day with a hangover and we feel like total shit, and then we just like sort of continue the depressing cycle. That's kind of the thing. That's what you're going to be getting out of. So that's why this retrograde is actually opening up and expanding this area of your life, because it's really needing for you to take control of how you're showing up to it, I feel like for some of you guys, like, you could have even been abstinent. You could have even like not been really having much physical intimacy with other people because you're kind of I don't know, it feels like maybe you just haven't felt like beautiful enough, you haven't felt handsome enough, you haven't felt radiant enough, you've kind of been questioning whether you are attractive enough, or if it's a waste of your time, or, you know, if you're actually going to be connecting with someone, because I feel like you guys don't want to just like have sex for fun. I feel like you guys want like deep meaning. So it's kind of like for you guys, kind of like finding the meaning in the mundane is a message that's coming up. So like finding play and fun and creativity in the simple things in life, like waking up in the morning and doing your exercise routine before you go to work or whatever, or go to school. Like, it's pretty much like just getting creative with that, because you're needing to get creative in order to nourish your soul. Your soul is asking for the creativity. Your soul is asking for you to be more playful and fun. And, you know, it could be because this is a Jupiter reading, but like so many messages, this whole video so far has literally been about the inner child and having fun. So I feel like Jupiter, especially Jupiter in Aries, because Aries is the baby of the zodiac. It's the first sign. It's the, you know, it's the child. It's the little child. Aries are the babies. So essentially Jupiter in Aries is expanding this sense of childlike fun and wonder within us. But because it's retrograding, it's us needing to go back through our psyche, through our soul, through our spirit, to see what it truly is that does actually fulfill us, what does make us want to use our willpower. Because a lot of the time, it's not that we don't have willpower. It's not that like some of us are just like born. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, astrology can help you understand this as well. Some placements are just damn well much easier when it comes to willpower than others. But that's not saying that not everybody has the opportunity, the capacity to have really powerful willpower. It's that a lot of the time we are needing to have willpower towards something that we don't really give much of an actual fuck about. You know, if you were to tell me that I needed to like do all this certain stuff, so that, say, okay, my old job, I used to work as a waitress and in the bar at a bowling club. And if you're not from Australia, a bowling club is essentially kind of like an elderly folks club where they play lawn bowls. You know, that game where you play lawn bowls? Anyway, if I worked there for like 3.5 years, and I didn't hate it in the beginning. I love people, so like I can talk like a crazy motherfucker, and waitressing and that can be fun, but in the end it was just painful. But essentially, if you had have ever told me while we were there that I needed to, like, if I wanted, I could have like climbed the ladder and become like the manager of the club and like been on all this money and done all this stuff. I have very strong willpower. I wouldn't have done it. You would not have been able to get me to put in all the training, to do all that sort of stuff, because I didn't give a fuck about it. I don't want to be the manager of a freaking bowling club. I don't care about serving people drinks and, like, you know, just enticing their poker machine habit. Like, I ain't keen on that. So, you know, my willpower wasn't there. It wouldn't have gotten me anywhere. And obviously that didn't happen because it wasn't meant to. But what I'm trying to say is that if you don't have something that you actually feel inspired to have the willpower for, you're not going to use it. You're just not. It's like, remember when we were kids and we had an excursion to go to school with the next day? Like, we were about to have an excursion and you'd wake up like hours earlier and you were so excited and you're just like, yeah, let's go. Like, that's willpower. And you get yourself out of bed as soon as you wake up because you're excited about something. So when you don't have that excitement, your willpower isn't really there because there's nothing to look forward to. There's nothing to have a will for. There's no point. And humans, we need a point. So, my loves, I like it. I like that this is making you reassess the way you approach I suppose like your desires, or the things you want, or the things that really nourish you. I feel like there's a shift in the way you're approaching things. So let's just get an archetype card to have a look at. Okay, it just came straight up. Listen to me. Sometimes I get so excited when I'm talking that I'm like blah 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 blah. So I do apologize for my crazy tongue. We have dilettante, light attributes, delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Shadow attribute, pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So that's quite coinciding coincides quite well with this Leo card, because this card's all about creativity, and Leo is all about creativity. So essentially, I feel as though you, and look, we have Alchemist at the bottom, so there's a lot of changing, transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. So that's the thing, I feel like that's what's transforming, is you are starting to like get more focused on your goals. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, the goals could be like body goals, like goals that you have about like maybe getting the fittest you've ever been, or becoming a model, or, you know, becoming an actor, you know, wherever it fits for you. It doesn't have to just be the physical body too. It could be like literally something that just really sparks you up and makes you really excited. So with the dilettante coming out, this is talking about like, you know, having your hand in a bunch of different creative pots, trying new things creatively. That's what I think this is. I feel like you are at the moment, this like season of life for you, and this Jupiter is expanding this for you. It's like it's inspiring you to try different modalities. So it's almost like 1 week you want to try painting, the next week you want to try pottery, the next week you want to try a poetry class, the next week you're going to try some improvisation, you know, at a local drama club. It's kind of like you just have all this exploring to do, because I feel like your soul is seeking this light energy, this fun energy, this creative energy. And see how they're both sort of like orangey yellow? That's this and this card as well as this card. So, you know, this is solar plexus and sacral chakra. So solar plexus is that confidence, having confidence in your creative abilities, having confidence in yourself. But also, what I like about this card is it talks about not needing to be a professional. It talks about getting back to your creativity purely because you enjoy being creative. It talks about just enjoying what you're doing while you're doing it, being present essentially. Because something, and I was listening to this in a podcast this morning, so it's funny, every time I listen to podcasts, I always find when I do readings that there's like little gems that want to be sprinkled throughout the reading. So it's like, everything is so divine timing. We don't even realize. It's crazy. The way the universe orchestrates itself and works just blows my fucking mind. But essentially, they were talking about how these days it was, and I said this to group 1, but I'm going to say it to you too. I'm going to link the podcast, or I'll link the name of it that I listened to for you guys, because it's a different podcast than number 1, but it's the same actual podcast, but it's a different interview. So anyway, I'm going to link that in case you guys want to listen to it, because it was all about the artist's way, and essentially how we've lost touch with our creativity and things like that. And it was just talking about nowadays we feel like everything needs to be productive. If it can't produce a result, then it's pointless in doing. So a lot of us who used to just enjoy painting because we could, you know, paint, like look at these pictures behind me right there. They're paintings that I just started like 1.5 years ago because I felt like painting. And I haven't touched them again because I feel like I always need to be doing something creative, something productive. Even if I'm not doing something productive, then I'm wasting my time. Essentially, that's kind of the vibe. So this is getting back to that part of ourselves who used to just create for the sake of creating, because that's what humans do. Because humans create. We are creative beings. It's so funny. My whole life growing up, I always told myself that I wasn't a creative person, and I didn't realize for so long that humans are naturally creative. Everything we do is creative. That, like, this literally, you can't tell me that a non-creative person exists on this planet, because they don't. Like, everything we do is creative. Even if you're crazy entrepreneur and all you give a fuck about is business, you're still creative, because business is creative. You know? Anyway, we also have the goddess card coming out. It says, light attribute, the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. Shadow attribute, exploitation of the female nature and form. So this is, and that's with this moon as well, because the moon is the divine feminine, you know? This is very much a feminine card, and it talks about the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. And that's the thing with this body coming out as well. I feel like you what Jupiter's really bringing up for you is this different creative way of expressing how you feel inside your skin, if that makes any sense. So if you have a look at this card, like look at how at home she feels in her human body. So this is once again becoming comfortable with being in a human body and exploring that. So that's why I feel like this first house and this moon is coming out, because it's asking you to explore how it feels. It says, oh no, it says soul. I thought it said I feel. That's Cancer. So it's talking about how it feels. It's talking about, you know, your emotions might fluctuate. They might ebb and flow and change. But essentially, at the end of the day, how does it feel to exist as you? I feel like Goddess, this archetype coming up for you is talking about you acquainting yourself with your physicality. That's why the body's here, because this is all about your body. It's like, maybe you're going to take yourself out for, to go shopping on your own this time. Maybe you're going to go shopping on your own and you're not going to ask for anyone else's opinion. You're just going to take yourself out to the shops. You're going to try on some lingerie, or you might try on some, you know, a new dress, or if you're a dude, sick t-shirt. You know, like you're gonna go and try new things, and when you're trying these new things, it's going to really like open you up to like new possibilities, and to be feeling excited about this new persona that you can kind of live and breathe and be. Because with all this astrology that is going on at the moment, essentially a lot of us are creating new personas. We are creating new versions of ourselves, and it's not so much that we're actually creating them, it's that we already are them, or that we've been wanting to be them for a long time. But this astrology is pushing us to make it happen and to force us into the doing of it. So we also have the hero, heroine, light attribute, passion for a journey of personal empowerment, shadow attribute, escapism, and a false sense of heroism. So at the moment, like, this entire Jupiter retrograde is essentially bringing you back to your own sense of personal empowerment, and you are feeling empowered in your body, and you are feeling empowered in who you are, especially with this moon soul. It's like becoming comfortable with your body, mind, heart, soul, all of it, and instead of needing to like produce in order to be worthy, instead you're creating because you love to create. You're just existing as a human was meant to exist. You know what I mean? Like, you're taking away, I feel, some of the thoughts and the beliefs and the structures and the systems that are telling us that you need to show up in a certain way if you want to be a successful, high-functioning human. Fuck your high-functioning. Essentially, you just want to function in a way that feels right for you. It's not about being like, oh, wait, like, I don't know. I'm so sick of this toxic, success-based bullshit society that we have, because it stifles us. People like me, and that I know so many other people like me, that just are being crushed under this freaking society. Crushed. Because, you know, with Moon Soul coming out, this tells me that you have a really compassionate, nurturing, beautiful soul. You know, you wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be attracted to my energy if you weren't someone that, like, you know, you have a heart. You have a fucking heart. So, you know, being stomped on all the time by this crazy world, I get it. I get how hard it is. So for you to find this willpower and to become the hero of your own life, kudos to you. Hats off to you. It is so freaking hard to do all that sort of shit. You know, it's so hard to take our power back. And I said this so much to pile one, taking your power back. For some reason, all Jupiter wants for us is to take our freaking power back. And because, you know, we have Saturn in Aquarius at the moment, this is a lot of us having collective restrictions. Obviously, you know, we've had physical, literal restrictions, but they're also mental, because now we may not be physically restricted as much, but we're mentally there now. You know, the thoughts are already there. The beliefs are already there. The fears, the patterns, all that shit is already there. So this is you breaking out. You are breaking out. And I love it. Okay, so let's have a look specifically at the challenges that are going to be coming up for you. What is the challenges coming up for my group 2s over this Jupiter retrograde? Couple more, please, Spizzer. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, okay, so a challenge for you is the fact that you kind of like, I feel like you don't want to wear your heart on the sleeve. I feel like you kind of want to remain a little closed off. I feel like A challenge you're having as well is just thoughts. I just think you think an awful lot and you don't feel so much anymore. And that's probably why this moon card's coming out in the area of life that's being activated, because you might not be so in touch with your emotions at the moment. You might be more in touch with the way you're thinking. And so that's what's really kind of needing to come up, because you see how she's literally got her emotions locked away in this little cage down here. She's like, I am pure logic. I don't give a fuck about feelings. I am pure logic. And I feel like, because this is the challenge for you. So essentially it's needing to obviously have clarity, obviously think logically, all that shit, like, good on ya. But it's also needing to, like, allow for a little bit of feeling as well, because anytime that we are completely one way or the other, you know, you can't be all feelings and you can't be all logic, because if you are, then you're out of balance, you know what I mean? You're never going to find that equilibrium. So with the Queen of Swords coming out as kind of a challenge, you have a little bit of like a I don't want to say negative mindset, but it's just a very harsh mindset. It's just very to the point. It's kind of like you know, it's not like you're sitting here like pessimistic as fuck, like, oh, poor me, woe is me, nothing ever works out for me, life's shit, like, I'm always going to be stuck in this situation, my body's always going to feel like this, I'm always going to hate myself, I'm always going to this, I'm always going to that. That's not what you're doing, but I do feel like there is this harshness, like you could look in the mirror and just be like, get the fuck out of bed, or you know, get out of bed, you're in bed, you're not going to be in the mirror. But essentially it's like you could look at yourself in the mirror and be like, Jesus, you look like shit today. Like, you need to up your game. You need to fix your hair. You need to this. You need to that. Like, it's kind of like harsh, abrupt, kind of blunt. Your thoughts are kind of blunt with yourself. So good. All right. So yeah, your challenge is the fact that I feel like things are moving too slowly for you. For some of you guys, you might actually be doing things creatively. You could even have like invested in a new creative business or just a new creative outlet or something. And because it's moving slowly, it's kind of like shitting you. It's kind of like, is this ever actually going to grow? Is this ever actually going to go anywhere? Is this ever going to do anything? What I love about this card, and I don't, you know, the Seven of Pentacles is not usually everyone's favorite card. It's a bit like, it could be the card of failures. But this representation from this deck, I love it, because it talks about, like, see how little this plant is, and he's still putting his time and his effort into it and his nourishment. He's putting good vibes into it. He's feeling into it, you know, with this yellow in the background. He's giving it happiness vibes. He's giving it joy. He's bringing it to life. But he can't see the potential that lies underneath it. He can only see the top. He can only see that, yeah, there's a few leaves, like it's going somewhere, something's happening, but it's not really all that exciting. He can't tell how much this is actually physically grown. He can't see the changes. He can't see how much abundance is literally lying here in wait for him. He's not aware of it because it's above ground. He physically cannot see that. So you have not physically been able to see how something's going to play out. You haven't been able to physically see your success yet. You haven't been able to see the changes. You haven't been able to see the new body, you know? You haven't been able to see whatever it is that you're trying to, like, change up about yourself. You haven't been able to see the finish line yet. You know, it's like, I can see this as, like, they're climbing this mountain and, you know, they're climbing all their way up the top, but they still can't quite see the top. I mean, in this picture they can, but that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, it's almost just like there's a lot of potential here at the moment, and that's what I kind of feel like you're struggling with, because I feel like you're not seeing that this potential's there yet, or you see the potential but you're not seeing the result yet, and that's what's kind of difficult. So with the World card coming out as well, and because these cards at the moment, they're all challenges, so I love the World card, but the fact that it's coming out as a challenge is kind of saying that you are having trouble closing out this cycle. You are having trouble with and for you, a lot of it is about your creativity. So it's like it's really tough for you to accept that maybe you've been only creating because you feel like you want to receive something in return. Or it's like having a harsh time understanding and realizing that, you know, what you have been doing creatively, maybe you haven't actually been putting your effort into it so much. Or maybe, you know, something's just not, I don't know. I'm not going to go on. But essentially, you guys know where to put it in your own lives. But essentially, it's kind of just, you not quite seeing that the next chapter's already begun. I still feel as though like you're focused on the fact that, like, you know, maybe I need to produce in order to be worthy, and we're just not quite there yet. But you see, this, even though it's coming up as a challenge now, you know, this is what you're working through. This is what you're healing right now. And with this Dilettante card, like, I just keep looking at it so much. So I feel like this card, this archetype is really your archetype at the moment. Delights in the arts without having to be a professional. You don't have to be a professional. You don't have to be the best of the best of the best at everything you do. If you want to just start making mosaics for fun, start making them for fun. You could sell them on the side, of course, if you want, but don't expect yourself to be no Mozart. Even though Mozart's a composer. But anyway, you know, you don't need to be perfect. With this 5 of Wands coming out, this is telling me that you are comparing yourself to too many people. You're competing with other people in your own mind. That's the thing. You are competing with people in your own mind, and it's stopping you from taking the action on the thing it is that you need to do. Because I feel like there's a lot of focus here, and that's why this willpower is coming out. Because this is you healing your willpower, because you haven't been able to focus, because you haven't been able to connect with the part, like with the vision. You know, it's like I was saying before, you can't focus, you can't have willpower if you don't give a fuck about the thing that you're needing to have the willpower for. So this is you healing that. You know, this is getting creative again. It's asking you to bring in this high vibe, free-flowing, fun, spontaneous energy, because that's what's going to, you know, help you have this willpower to take you to the next level. You know, this is competition. This is everyone's trying to get the same thing, you know? And I feel like for you, it's like you feel like you're always battling other people, because the feeling I'm getting is almost like you believe or you feel, and you might not even be consciously aware of this, with this moon soul coming out as well. You might, like, this just might be a feeling you have and you don't understand why. But essentially it's like feeling like creativity is finite. You know, that the only good idea, like, I'm seeing this as a good idea, you know, this is a beautiful idea for a painting, or it's a great idea for a new business, or it's a great offering, or it's a really great, it's a beautiful idea for a new picnic rug, or a song, you know, anything like that. It's like the belief that that is finite, that that's the only way to get it. See them all scrambling around and trying to get to this one thing. They're all fighting each other to get to it, when the truth is that there's plenty more to go around. Fire can just, you know, there's more fire to go around. Fire comes from, I suppose, what does fire come from? Lightning in nature? But no, like, fire is kind of like, in tarot and things, when we're talking about it, it's talking about your creativity. It's talking about that drive and that desire to exist. Fire is talking about that passion that keeps us living, you know, it keeps our blood pumping, because without that fucking passion and that zest and exuberance that we have to keep existing, then everything would just fizzle out. So essentially, this is you needing to learn that, like, that creativity isn't infinite, that one good idea is not it, you know, like, I'm struggling with, like, wording this properly. I'm hoping that you're kind of understanding what I'm saying. Like, there's a billion ideas out there. It's like the ether. In the ethers, there's, like, say the universe, say God has wants this particular song to be expressed through someone. That energy will be out there in the ethers. You know, that idea is existing out in, you know, the ethers. What would you call it? Like, it's existing in space. It's vibrating out there as a potential. And there are 20 different people that might actually receive that, because, you know, they're aligned with it. But in the end, only one person actually takes the action on it. So it's kind of like, 20 people have got the idea. One person actually takes the action on it and makes it happen. And then the 19 other people sit there thinking, well, that was my only good idea. Well, I'm fucked now. Well, that's just destroyed me. They've just gone and done what I wanted to do. So what's the point? That's so counterproductive, man. Like, seriously, what what I'm trying to say is that will never be the last idea. That will never be the last opportunity. That will never be the only thought that you have. That will never be the only idea that you have. You need to essentially become okay with the idea that there's going to be other people out there. There's going to be someone out there that's better than you. There's going to be someone out there that's better looking than you, smarter than you, has got their shit more together, that's got more willpower than you. All the things, man. All the things. But that doesn't mean that what you have to give isn't valued. That doesn't mean that what you have to give isn't needed, you know, that it isn't necessary. So the 5 of Wands is really saying, like, this is a challenge. Stop comparing yourself to everyone else. Stop telling yourself subconsciously in the back of your mind that there's nothing left for you. That there's already enough people out there doing it. That so many people are already out there doing it. What's the point of me doing? You need to get used to trying something just for the sake of trying it and not judging yourself because you might look silly in front of someone else. This is opinions, man. Fuck those opinions. And the last card we have is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is talking about you, this goddess energy. You coming back into your challenge is that you don't actually feel this self adoration just yet. I feel like that's what you're on the journey of. That's what you're on the path of. At the moment, you're going through this goddess archetype and you're trying to find how you can connect with this within yourself. I feel like maybe in your past you have exploited the feminine, or you've been exploited as the feminine. You know, so this is needing to like regain your power after, you know, a lot of, I suppose just like regaining your power after people have tried to tear you down, essentially. And I really want to say this as well, because this is a message I'm getting for all of my beautiful, like, dark-skinned sisters. I can really see that, like, you know, especially for you guys, because the entire fucking stupid system that we have is built to repress your divinity. It is built to deny you of how fucking glorious and magnificent and how divine you are, and you have always been. So this is an extra message to my beautiful dark goddesses out there. Spirit is trying to remind you of just how fucking powerful you are, how radiant you are, and you need to be reminded of that radiance. Look at how beautiful these cards are. Look at these women. Look at the freaking, just the self-love and the divinity that exuberates out of them. You know, you can see when a woman is in touch with who she really is, when she feels her feminine essence, and when she really accepts her magic for who she is, you can just see that seeping out of every single thing she does. Look at both of them have their eyes closed. They are completely at home within the way they feel. So your challenge at the moment, my loves, is becoming comfortable and falling in love again with you and how you feel, and with your willpower to put yourself out there as someone who fucking deserves the world, okay? So, woo, that was fun. Now, let's have a look at the lesson. I want to see the lesson and what's kind of like going to come out of this as you move through it. Da-da-da. But essentially, you know, all of this there's just such a huge message of creativity. I just feel like you guys have stifled your inner spirit because the world fucking forced you to, you know? The world has stomped on us so many times, over and over and over and over again. And to be able to stand back in this power and to, you know, not lock your heart away, and to decide that you want to check out and that, you know, you kind of want to hide away. Like, this card kind of looks like she's hiding away in the hills, you know? She's like, fuck that, I'm not dealing with it, and I don't want to feel emotions and feelings anymore. Whereas this card, she is owning her shit. She is down on the earth, you know? She is committed, she is there, she is solid. So yeah, you know, becoming solid in who you're here to become. I feel as though, like, your willpower really is going to be completely transformed over this retrograde, and I feel excited to see how it actually, like, plays out for you. So, the cards we have for you, we have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. Ooh, Okay, and then we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse that just like jumped out. So once again, romanticizing. I keep saying once again, but I don't even think I've said this. Romanticizing your existence, romanticizing life, seeing opportunity in front of you again. So the lesson that you're kind of learning is, look, we have the Two of Swords and the Ace of Swords. So the lesson that you're learning is how to trust in your intuition. You're learning how to trust in your ideas. You're learning how to follow the voice of spirit when you get an inkling to do something. I was literally just talking to you about ideas. Look at this freaking photo. She has got this, look at this card, just screams brilliant idea, genius idea, so many amazing thoughts. This is powerful thoughts, a powerful, powerful, powerful mind. And so with the Two of Swords there, this is someone that's confused, they're not sure whether to go left or right. Her eyes are blindfolded, and in this one, her eyes are closed. So in both pictures, this is not being guided by something that's just in your face and easy to understand. This is being guided by a feeling, being guided by a feeling that starts to give you a new idea, a new opportunity to move forward, a new way of looking at things, a new way of seeing things. I feel as though what's really going to be changing for you in this lesson, it's really going to bring you into having a lot more clarity and an ability to make decisions with a lot more ease. I feel like you struggle to make decisions because logically you're thinking so logically all the time, but you can't understand why your logical mind and your heart don't sort of have this coherence. Leo is the heart. Queen of Swords is the mind. So it's literally you needing to find this balance between the heart and mind and listening to both of them. Because, your heart wants to do something really fun and flamboyant and expressive and wants to enjoy life and to embrace the beauty of who you are, and wants to try new things and try new creative outlets and to explore. But your logical mind is always telling you, well, what's the point of doing that if you're not going to make money from it? Or, what's the point of going on this adventure because you have to work, otherwise you're not going to be able to pay your bills, which, very logical, very, very logical. Makes sense, of course. But sometimes we have to just let our hair down. We have to just let that inner child within us have freedom to play and to have creativity, and your soul needs this. Your soul needs this free spark. Your soul needs to trust that it can make decisions on its own, that it doesn't need somebody else to guide it. Your soul doesn't need anybody else to sort of validate its worthiness. This is you validating your own worthiness because you are just absolutely divine as hell, and you are stepping into a new chapter, and this new chapter is here to bring you into so much more clarity. Like, it's just clarity is what I'm getting with this word, with this card. I just feel as though like you're opening up literally like a whole new way of thinking. That's what this card feels like to me. A whole new perception of the way you view yourself and your life, and it's great. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. So let's get some advice now, because I've gone way too long for you guys too. I told group 1 that I was like, they were gonna have the longest reading because I wasn't gonna go this long again, and I've motherfucking done it again. God damn. I hope you guys enjoy long readings. I do when it's like the right vibe. Sometimes I'm like, just shut up. And then other times I'm like, yeah, just keep talking. It depends on the reader, actually. Anyway, I'm probably a little bit annoying. I know I'm not for everyone. So for those of you guys who actually stay and who listen to these and who enjoy it, I love you. You're my people. For everyone else, I don't give a fuck. Anyway, okay, advice. That's right, we're getting advice. What is the advice that you have for my beautiful blue glitter pile? Okay, we have possibility. Raise your standards, elevate your expectations. You have unlimited potential. Yes, raise your standards about what is possible for you. Raise your standards about who you are. Do you think this Queen of Pentacles has no standards? Look at her fucking standards. Look at her. Look at her. This is one of my favorite cards in the whole deck because she just oozes. She oozes magnificence. She oozes luxury. She oozes femininity. She oozes abundance. she has standards. The Queen of Pentacles has standards. She won't settle for anything that is not worthy of her, you know? This is leveling your self-worth up so high that shit that doesn't serve you anymore, you ain't got no time for it. You will be that Queen of Swords, and you will put people in their place if you have to. Okay, so yeah, you have unlimited potential. Please understand that your potential is way, way, way higher than you have imagined. This is why you're becoming the hero of your own life, because you're taking the power back into your own hands, and you are walking forward with like so much pizzazz. Like, that's literally the word Spirit just gave me, pizzazz. Leo, you know? Leo, this is the star. This is the star of the zodiac. Everyone wants to be a motherfucking Leo. No, I've got my Mars in Leo, so I really understand like Leo vibes. Like, Mars is your drive and your passion in life, and it makes you move. Mine being in Leo is just like, woo, this is Leo. Leo. Anyway, oh my God. I just wish I could shut the fuck up sometimes, but I can't. Like, these videos are almost like, it's hard because I know that I'm talking to you beautiful souls, but I also am just like sitting in my room filming, and I just say the weirdest shit. Anyway, I feel like you guys get me. I feel like you guys get me. I feel like you guys are the same. It's like but maybe not everyone sees this about you, but just there's a little bit of crazy in there. I know, I can see it. Okay, so anyway, raise your standards, motherfucker. And then we have delight. Count your blessings and enjoy life. Take pleasure in simple things and always expect the best. Yes, just delight in the simple things. Make a wish. You know, there's, remember when you were a little kid and you used to always blow on those dandelions and you genuinely believed that your wish would come true? Do you remember that saying, starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish my wish will come true tonight. I used to say that every day. I would sit out the front and I would wait for the first star, and then I'd see the first star and I'd be like, starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. And like, you know, remember when you were a kid and you believed in this stuff? That's why we said at the beginning of this reading, I was getting the word faith. Having faith in the ability for your miracles to manifest. Having faith that God will support you. That you will be taken care of. That things are going to always work out for you. Take pleasure in the simple things. Simple things. Creativity. Take pleasure in cooking a beautiful meal. Take pleasure in dancing, twerking your ass to a sexy song, you know, anything. Take pleasure in it, okay? Because it's the little moments in life that actually end up being the big moments. Because think about it. Have a think about all the, like, a moment in particular where you feel really nostalgic for it. It probably wasn't some massive big deal event that you know, it was probably a moment, a simple moment on a simple day. A lot of the time we think that our like, what we're waiting for in life are these big, big moments, and they're not. It's the little things. It's the simple things that happen for us every single freaking day. Okay, so one more card. I'm going to read this one out of the book. We're going to have a look at the god or goddess that is guiding you throughout this Jupiter retrograde. Bottom of the deck. Ooh, we have Baba Yaga. Patience. Dun, dun, dun. I might read that card as well. Ooh, and then we have Ogma. Watch your words. Some of you guys are writers. You're creative as fuck, and you express it through your words. And I was actually going to say just before, you picked the blue glitter and blue throat chakra. So you guys really need to become comfortable with speaking and expressing yourself. I feel like you guys have a hard time sometimes expressing yourself authentically because you do worry about how people are going to judge you. Which I completely get. Like, I completely get it. I did not want to start this channel for so long because I got bullied in high school for my YouTube channel, and it scared the living hell out of me thinking about creating another one and opening myself up to more bullying. I'm now 27. That was 10 years ago. Go figure. How long is it? See? Patience. Takes a long time sometimes to heal through our bullshit. Okay, we have Ogma. It says, watch your words. Infuse your language with light. Your words matter. Ogma produced Omar. Omar? Is the Celtic warrior god of literature, eloquence, and speech. He's the champion of the Tuatha De Danann. the ancient Irish pantheon of divine beings. A lord of knowledge, he created the Ogham script, the earliest system of writing in Ireland. The language consisted of notches and strokes traditionally cut into wood or stone. Ogma is said to have conceived many languages and poetry that were imbued with rays of light. Celtic mythology describes sunshine beaming from his hair, and he's given the epithets sun-faced and strong man. Ogma teaches us about the tremendous power of words and supports writers, linguists, and orators. Ooh. Ooh. Ogma leads you to his standing stone, etched in Ogham's script. He places your hand upon the rough surface and speaks to you with a light-filled voice. Notice the words you use about yourself, others, and the world. Spoken and written language carry energy that can shape your reality, or for better or for worse. Your body, mind, and spirit respond to the way in which you describe yourself. Ha-ha! Your body, mind, and spirit... What does it say? Respond to the way in which you describe yourself. I'm just going to let that sink in. There you go. Okay. If you say, for example, I'm useless, I can't do this, I'll never be any good, your cells and vibrational intelligence believe those words. They go on to create experiences that reflect them. And that's similar to what we were saying with you, like, fighting all these people to create, with the competition. Where's the card? Okay, it's gone now. So yeah, with that Five of Swords, once that was talking about you being in competition with other people and like the ideas thing that I was saying, it's pretty much, think about the way you're thinking about that, like, oh, I've missed out on my opportunity. Like, really notice your thoughts. And that's why this is coming out too. And that's why this is your challenge. And this is why these are coming out as like the resolution in the end, because this is you getting clear on the way you're actually thinking, the way your mind's... See, in this picture, she's not in control of where her mind is going. But in this picture, she is. You are gaining control over your thoughts. Okay, and then it says, but if you say, I'm good enough, I'm doing my best, I can succeed at this, then your energy shifts to create this truth. Your brain chemistry is influenced by what you say. Your mind is always seeking to show you evidence of what you speak about. Notice how you communicate with other people. Do your words lift them up? Before you speak or write, ask yourself if you'd like to receive these words. You have the power to shift the world with language, so use it with care. Additional meanings. Pursue creative writing or submit a manuscript to publishers. Learn a new language. You're an inspirational public speaker. Visit Ogham stone sites in Ireland and Britain. Invocation. My words make a positive difference. I speak from my soul. I speak from my soul. Speak from your soul. Don't speak from the wounded aspects of you. Don't speak from what you think you should be doing, what you think you should say, from the logical part of you that tells you, abide by these rules, all that sort of shit. Speak from your soul, my love. Your art needs to be created from the soul. It cannot be created with the idea of profit so much. Like, not to say, like, you obviously, if you're starting an art business, you have to think about profit. But I'm just sort of saying, like, not setting yourself up for failure in the fact that if you don't make a profit in your first year, in your first few months, in your first few weeks, that means that you aren't cut out for it. That means that you don't deserve it. That means that you aren't worthy of it. That it's not going to happen for you. Really pay attention to what you're thinking about what is possible. Because you really need to see how possible it is for you to create something creative and to have that fulfill you completely on a spiritual level, deeply. And for some of you guys, you want to be a fitness instructor. That is your creativity. Follow it. If you want to teach yoga, follow it. Do it. That is your thing, man. Like, I say this all the time. Pay attention to the things that light you up, because the things that light you up are there for a reason. They're telling you something. They are guiding you towards the thing that fills your soul up, and that is the thing that your soul came here to do. Okay? So then one last card. This is going on way too long. If you guys are still here with me, I fucking love you. Please let me know that you've watched this whole thing, because this is crazy. You guys literally just got a 50-minute reading in a pick a card. It was not meant to be like this. This was meant to be like a 20-minute reading, and I am just so ridiculous. I wish I could make these readings shorter, but I just really can't. So I love you so much for being here. Anyway, Baba Yaga, patience. Ooh, dropping my elbow off the table. Let things develop gradually. Take your time. To the Slavic peoples of Eastern Europe, Baba Yaga is the old woman of autumn whose spirit lived in the last kernel of harvested grain. Slavic lore said that the female who ate this kernel would bear a child the following spring. In Russian folklore, Baba Yaga is the forest witch who traveled through the air inside her cauldron. In Old Russian, Baba may mean midwife or sorceress. She's the wild hag, a babushka or grandmother goddess of matrilineal wisdom. It's trying to say something about matriarchal. You get me. Please tell me you understand what I mean. It's too hard to say. With a gathering basket containing woodland medicines. Her silver wolf is a time-traveling spirit teacher. Your spirit medicine from the ancient woman of the forest, Baba Yaga, is a good old dose of patience. It might not be what you want to hear, but there's simply no rushing this process. Yo, this is the card of patience. You are right. You want things to move way faster than they are going to. This is your problem. You need to learn patience because you want things to just happen overnight, and success just doesn't happen overnight. It is impossible. I dare you to go online and research all success stories about I dare you to go and have a look at overnight success stories. And tell me how many you find that actually happened overnight. Because I can pretty much guarantee you it would have been none. It would have been none. Okay. It might not be what you want to hear, but there's simply no rushing this process. Everything in nature has a season, but in our modern world, we seem to have forgotten that all good things take time to unfold. The situation or relationship you're involved in won't respond to anxious pushing and prodding. Leave things alone for a while. Time and space are needed for this issue to heal, develop or come to fruition. Persevere with your journey without grasping for immediate gratification. Instant results are not the way of Baba Yaga. She's inviting you to build something of quality, of real substance, something that endures. Keep going even when it seems as if nothing's happening. Keep going even when it seems like nothing's happening. He can't tell that something's happening. He feels like nothing's happening, but it is. Look at how much it's actually growing, but on the surface, it doesn't look like shit's happening. Yo! Sorry for my yelling. I love you. Oh my god. Okay. There are ages and stages of accruing spiritual knowledge. You don't need to ask frantic questions of the universe, of your teachers, of yourself. Rest assured, the answers will come when it's time. You're not being given everything at once because rushing will spoil the end result. Slow cooking yields to the richest, tastiest dishes. Slow cooking yields the richest, tastiest dishes. Let go of your fast-paced agenda and allow Baba Yaga to work her timeless magic. Make long-term plans or preparations. Any delays you're experiencing are for the best. Slow down the pace in your life. Invocation. True healing and spiritual growth take time. I trust in the divine process. Well, my loves, I feel like that literally just speaks for itself. That is the perfect way to sum up everything that we were just talking about. Patience is a virtue, my love. Patience will get you so much further than you could ever imagine, and taking small steps daily. Mirror work, taking care of your body, eating well, physicality. There's more than enough to go around. There's more than enough ideas. There's more than enough opportunities. There's more than enough people out there to consume, It's like believing that there's no point for you to be a tarot reader now because there's so many other tarot readers on YouTube, and I definitely believed that. And then at the end of the day, it just turns out that maybe some people just purely want to consume it from you. Just because there's 20 million other people out there that are doing the same thing as you doesn't mean that you aren't still going to receive people that want to work with you, That's a belief in your own mind that you need to work with. So anyway, I love you guys so, so much. Thank you so much for still being here. Like, if you are still here, then I just want to give you, let's have a hug, a screen hug. Love you. Seriously though, this is ridiculous. So let me know if you have actually watched this. I will be like, whoa. Okay. I love you. Thank you to your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I in all moments for allowing us to receive and to deliver this amazing message to you. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that in the description just below. Check out my Instagram because I'm trying to be more consistent over there, but I say that every time and I haven't been consistent, but this time I swear to God I'm gonna be. And yeah, if you guys are interested, I will be starting my blog in the next few days, so I'm also going to link that. And if you guys are interested in, you guys are writers, some of you guys are writers and speakers and stuff, so if you're into writing, about spirituality, tarot, astrology, healing, all that sort of stuff, then do check it out when it's ready. Okay, so yeah, I love you so much. Also like this video and shit like that, but that's standard. Just do it. So yeah, I love you and I will see you in the next reading. Bye, my friend. Mwah. Hello, group number 3. If you chose the red glitter, then this is going to be your reading all about what Jupiter retrograde is bringing into your life. Okay, so let's start off with the area of life that is going to be expanding for you throughout this Jupiter retrograde. We're going to have a look at this, the archetype that you're exploring through that, and then the challenges that you're overcoming, the lessons, and what's kind of going to manifest afterwards, and then we're just going to grab some advice. Okay, so let's have a look at the area of life. There's manifesting, that Jupiter is manifesting for you. Okay. Wow, everyone's getting very similar messages. It's weird. I wanted to say before I started pulling cards that I was feeling like a sensual, sexual kind of vibe from you. I feel like you're healing your sexuality. Look at that. We have Aries. I am. Okay, so the area of life that is coming up for you guys is just like group 1 and 2. So it's like everyone's going through a similar thing, but it's manifesting in different ways. This is about essentially the area of your life that is being really impacted is the area of yourself. It's who you are. It's your expression in this world. It's literally the way you interact with life as a whole. We also have part of fortune increase. Ooh. And we have the 5th house of creativity coming out. Okay, so like I was saying just about with the sexuality thing, the 5th house is actually the house of sex. It's kind of like fun, playful, happy, enjoyable, creative, make baby sort of sex. Any sex can be make baby sex, but yeah, so there's 2 houses in astrology that really talk about sex. It's the 5th house and it's the 8th house. The 8th house is kind of talking about some like deep intimate, that's kind of crazy, wild, raunchy, like fucking bondage, crazy, like kinky sort of sex. And the 5th house is actually all about kind of like that fun, free flowing, light-hearted sexual intercourse and stuff like that. Okay, so essentially what I'm feeling for you guys is this increase in your libido, this increase in I suppose the way you're feeling in your desires. That's what it is. It's like feeling a lot more I feel like you're feeling a lot more fiery. I feel like there's almost like this spark of inspiration that's coming in for you. I feel like Jupiter is literally shining a light on the parts of you that felt a little stifled, in the sense that I feel like you haven't been able to express yourself for a long time in the way that you really want to. Or not even that you really want to, it's like you haven't even known how to do it. It's like this kind of like stifled, because the card at the bottom of the deck is devoid of course, moon, missing. So it's almost like a part of you has been missing. And I feel like it's the part of you, yeah, with Saturn truth underneath that. So it's like you kind of might have got caught up in the responsibility for a little bit there. And so what Jupiter's really bringing back to you is this sense of like fun and freedom that you get when you actually like play around with life. And this is what's hilarious. All these messages for each one of these groups is actually really freaking similar. So, this is finding yourself again, being okay with the emotional landscape that a human has. I'm noticing, you see the 2 faces up here, the happy face and the sad face. I feel like this is you really accepting your emotional range, accepting that you can be fiery and a hothead at times, but you can also be like really fun and playful and spontaneous. I get with you guys, like there's this fieriness. Like you could tell someone to fuck right off if you needed to. Even your song was go fuck yourself. Like, as soon as that came on, because I always ask Spirit, I'm like, okay, what is the song that is symbolizing these guys? Like, what is the song that represents them in this transit? What is the message that Jupiter has for them through a song? You guys got go fuck yourself. So for you, some of you guys also do need to tell someone to go fuck yourselves, fuck themselves, or you know, just getting a little bit more of like see, the thing is, I feel like you guys have a backbone, but maybe you don't always exercise it. Maybe you like to kind of come off a little bit more playful. It's almost like not passive aggressive, but playful aggressive. Like, you know, when you're joking around with someone and paying them out and you actually mean it, but you're just saying it like a joke, so they kind of don't take it like seriously and get offended. That's kind of the vibe I get from you guys. So yeah, I feel as though at the moment Jupiter is looking to really bring a lot more blessings into your life, because this reading is about the blessings that Jupiter will be bringing to you anyway as you like move through this energy. But for you, it's like amplified, because the part of fortune part of your chart increase. You know, it says increase here because that's the part of your chart where if you focus on that energy, you will bring luck and abundance and blessings to you. And Jupiter is the planet of luck, abundance, and blessings and things. So the kind of vibe this is giving me would be, say, if you had Aries or Leo on your part of fortune. And if you had your part of fortune in Aries or Leo, I would definitely say the creativity and passion is super important for you. I would say that the more you increase your life force energy, the more energy you actually physically have, your vitality, the more you're going to notice the universe working in your favor. So this is getting into your physical body and getting into your creativity like next level. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because Jupiter's is retrograding back into Pisces, and Pisces is literally the sign of like fantasy and creativity and imagination and stuff. So that could be why everybody's having you know, this sort of creativity sparked, having this like this, what's the word, like it's kind of like this relationship with their creativity. Like it's really coming up to be noticed and paid attention to at the moment. Yeah, I just feel like the area of life that's really, really coming up is the area of you and how you feel, you know, how you feel sexy, how you feel radiant, how you feel connected to your passion, what lights you up, what makes you passionate, what brings fun into your existence. I feel like for you guys, there's an increase in fun that Jupiter's trying to bring into your life. It's like getting rid of this serious Sally mindset, which I literally said to, I think, group 2. So I have a feeling that like with you guys, everyone that's been drawn to this reading, you kind of felt a little drawn to like other groups, and that would be because there's probably a message in all of the groups for you, or you know, like whatever group that you choose is probably where the message is most potent. But I would say that there's a message for everyone. You know, some people actually watch full pick a card readings from the start to the end. Like if you did this with this reading, you would be like brain dead. But at the same time, you know, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But there will always be something specifically for you. And I feel like, you know, with this reading, it's just like everyone's kind of blending into one. So anyway, let's have a look at the archetype that's showing up for you with Jupiter retrograde and what it's bringing forward for you. I feel like some of you guys, this Jupiter retrograde's getting you more excited about the things that you maybe liked a bit more as a kid that you've sort of lost touch with now as an adult. So it's like, for some of you guys, you might be going to like, you know, what do you call them? Like a fun park. For us, like in Australia, you know, maybe you want to go to Wet n Wild or Movie World or Luna Park or something, a little bit more this over this retrograde, or you're feeling inspired to do those sorts of things. If you're in other countries, then whatever fun parks, you know, you have, or, you know, toboggan rides, you know, shit like that. I'm just thinking of random stuff that comes up, but essentially it's just like bringing out that inner child who like likes to play. You need Jupiter is really trying to bring you back into play. All right, so the archetypes that we have for you, we have Judge at the bottom of the deck. So I do feel like you judge yourself a lot. I feel like you might even sometimes judge other people. I feel as though yeah, I really get that it's like judging you. I feel like you judge yourself a lot. It says light attributes: balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. Shadow attributes: offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. So yeah, this offering only destructive criticism. I feel like in the past, like I said before, even you guys can be really harsh and kind of maybe even a little bit blunt with people, and you can just be like, say it how it is. So that could be that bluntness that we're talking about, offering only destructive criticism. Maybe you need to be a little bit more soft in the way you deliver things, maybe a little bit more soft in the way you tell people how it is. But yeah, so I feel at the moment though, you really are looking to like balance things out. So I feel like you're well aware of this, and Jupiter's making you even more aware of how, you can be a little imbalanced. You can be a little bit too one-sided at times. And that can be like, maybe you're overly creative at times. Maybe like all you want to do is just create, and then you like ignore everything else. And then other times all you want to do is be productive, and you just ignore that whole creative part of yourself. So you're constantly kind of like trying to find a happy medium between the two. So then you also have slave coming out, which says light attribute: surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. And shadow attribute: giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. So the thing with Aries is, Aries has to make its own choice, you know. Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. It sparks the energy of the entire zodiac wheel. So Aries has to decide that it wants to be. You know what I mean? Like, it has to decide that it's going to be the one to pioneer a new beginning. It's going to be the one to start something fresh. So this is you needing to become okay with making your own choices. Because the thing with the Judge too, Judge archetype, it always brings me straight to Libra, and Libra can have a really, really difficult time with actually making decisions, because Libra doesn't want to, it's the scales, you know, it wants everything to be balanced and harmonious. And if a decision looks like someone could miss out, or you could miss out, or there might be some sort of like win-lose sort of thing, it can be really, really difficult to make a decision. So this is you essentially at this point in your life, in this Jupiter retrograde period. It's really trying to get you to be more assertive when it comes to making choices for you, and making choices, the right choices that will bring you into feeling child magical underneath that will make you feel more inspired and motivated by life. I feel like there's, with this, look, we have a child magical in the 5th house coming out. And so, that's that inner child once again. Jupiter, this retrograde, is bringing everyone's inner child straight to the forefront, and is saying, we need to work with this in order to bring forth abundance and blessings, because it's your inner child that is sabotaging things when, shit gets in the way, because it's your inner child who hasn't been given permission to be themselves. A lot of the... pretty much the majority of us as we're growing up lose our permission to be ourselves, to be authentic. We lose it in bullies, we lose it in our peers, we lose it in our parents who are telling us what to do, we lose it in teachers and things who are telling us how we should be, in society as a whole and in general, telling us all how we should act and how we should be. The shadow attributes of the magical child is pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. See, it takes away that happy, free-flowing spirit of yours. It takes away your free spirit when you give your power away to external forces, and that's what happens to us, all of us, a lot of us, subconsciously, without us even being aware of it. It's not until we start to get older and we start doing this healing work that we start to be like, oh, damn. Even things that you've judged about yourself and judged about other people, Jupiter is trying to bring you into more awareness about what it is about that you're actually judging. Are you judging somebody because they have lots of money and you actually want lots of money, but instead of accepting the fact that you too also want lots of money, you find it a little bit easier to like condemn someone that has it because you've been taught that rich people are foul, things like that. This is thinking for yourself, essentially. The light attributes of the magical child is seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that anything and everything is possible. So this is needing to, Jupiter's trying to remind you that everything is possible. The archetype that you're moving through at the moment is like almost like this feeling of of becoming clear, of making judgments about different aspects of yourself, about different ways that you've been acting and showing up to life. Because I feel like you're in a period of clearing it. I feel like for some of you guys, you have a mentor, or you are stepping into a mentorship role where you're actually becoming someone now that needs to guide other people. And so that's why you're needing to sort of really work through this now. And Jupiter's offering this as an opportunity, because Jupiter is the planet of teaching. It's ruled by Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the teacher, you know, it's the spiritual guide. And so as you're stepping into your own power, and as you're stepping into like your next level of leadership, and as you're stepping into this guiding light sort of energy that you are and that you're becoming, essentially, you know, you're healing so much of your past repression. You're becoming a lot more powerful in the way you choose to show up. So the mentor card says light attribute, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. So this is you passing on wisdom. As you gain this wisdom within yourself, you allow it to be shared with other people, you know? So at the moment, I feel like Jupiter's kind of got you under its wing. Jupiter is kind of taking you down this path of let's really heal the inner you. Let's really get comfortable with what it is that needs to change at the moment, because Jupiter's trying to really bring like this awareness into you. See this thing up here? Like I'm seeing the planet Jupiter, you know, like Jupiter is bringing mentors to you, and it's also getting you ready to step into your own mentorship position where you can actually help others. Like for some of you guys, you have children and you're a mentor to those children. And so Jupiter's helping you to heal some of your inner child wounds so that you can be a more magical and optimistic and enthusiastic guide for your children. Because I feel like sometimes when we have children, we realize just how much we've accumulated as adults, you know, throughout our lifetimes. We don't realize how much of the spark in life that we've lost until sometimes we're surrounded by kids and we go, holy shit, you happy little thing, how? You know, like, and then we start to question, okay, well, what do I need to start healing with me so that I can reconnect with this part of me? Because you remember when you were a kid and you were fun. You remember it. I know. So this is shadow attributes, inability to allow the student to move onto the role of master, imparting false instruction. So I feel like there's a part of you that maybe is a little bit afraid of stepping into this leadership role, that is afraid of stepping into this master. I feel like Jupiter's trying to like bring you into having more personal belief in yourself around that, because Aries coming out, you know, it's talking about having power and having faith and belief in your creativity and in the way that it can really bring more blessings into your life. For some of you guys, it's like financially, literally financially. The more you really hone in, and the more you really activate this creative energy within you, and the more you move with it and you allow yourself to create rather than judging yourself and the things that you create, the more you're going to be able to flow with life. Because we have this slave card as well, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Surrendering to the divine with complete trust. So you're at the moment, you're trying to figure out how to do this surrendering. I feel like it's literally at the moment for you guys, it's like the how. Okay, like I get this all conceptually, but how do I actually physically do it? For you guys, I feel like physically, creativity, like I keep saying, but art, you know, writing, painting, making flower mandalas, whatever that thing is that is your creative expression, you know, playing with music, playing with Lego, you know, anything that really sparks that like inner child sort of feeling for you. I feel like that's a good way for you to physically bring the magic back into your life, because Jupiter really, really wants you to see how magical your life can be when you are living a creative existence. And it's just crazy. I feel like all I've talked about all day is creativity. Jupiter is just like, get creative, mofos. You are blocking your blessings because you are not, you know, you're ignoring the little children within you. Okay, so artist says light attributes, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. And that's like what we were talking about just before with that magical child, like seeing life through a new lens, through a higher perspective, through a more exciting perspective. You know, how do kids see life? How curious are they? How excited are they about everything it is? They were always asking why, but why? You know, they're interested. They want to understand how things work. As adults, we kind of lose that tendency and we start to believe that we already know all the answers, that we have all the answers. And so Jupiter's trying to like sort of bring that back for you. It's trying to bring you back to maybe more of like a childlike mentality, where instead of believing that you know all the answers, instead you start to open your mind up to curiosity and you ask, well, you know what? I don't actually have all the answers. The older I've gotten, the more I've realized I don't have the answers. I thought that was way more, you know, I believed that I had my shit together when I was like 18, 19, 20. Now I'm 27 and I'm like, yo, the more I learn and the older I get, the more I realize that I don't know. And how many people say that? Because it's true, okay? Shadow attribute of the artist, using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. So that's the thing. I feel like you guys have a little bit of a fear of being a starving artist. I feel like for some of you guys, like you have creative things that you want to explore and that you want to do and that you could even possibly like have like create financially, but I feel like you're afraid that you're not going to be provided for, that you're going to end up being a starving artist. For some of you guys, you might even have like a subconscious belief that actually tells you that you know, to be a starving artist is something to be proud of, you know, to be a rich artist is something to be ashamed of. So really pay attention to how it is that you're judging you know, different ways of being, different success stories, how, and by success stories I mean like when you see people's success stories, when you see people out doing things that are awesome, how does it make you feel? Do you judge it in a way that, you know, you're like, oh, well, they had it easy and blah, blah, blah. Or do you judge them for having the thing? What is it about them that is triggering you? Because that trigger is the answer to what is wrong. You know, it's the answer to what needs to be healed, essentially. So let's have a look at the challenges specifically that are coming up for you in this Jupiter retrograde. Okay? Challenges, please, for my pile. Threes. Prime. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So there's something that you want to start that you haven't really started yet, or that you're thinking about starting, that you're on the fence about starting, that you're a little bit paranoid about actually doing. Needing to put more physical effort into something. Okay, so we have lots of wands coming out, which doesn't surprise me because we have 2 fire signs here. So Jupiter really for you guys is all about this spark. It's all about the life force. It's about your prana, your energy, your chi. It's all about how you can feel connected to the source of all life, you know. Wands is all about that like passion, that motivation to live and to exist and to thrive and to be. It's a lot, okay? So for you guys, your challenge, you have the 7 of Wands and the 8 of Wands, which, you know, that's a progression. That's pretty interesting. So it's almost like I feel like the challenge that you're going through at the moment is feeling like you maybe don't quite fit in with everyone else. It's feeling like you maybe need, see, look how she's sitting here in this bubble and she's like protected from all these wands, and see how all these wands are focusing on something, trying to actually go for it. Like, I feel as though the challenge you have is really actually focusing on something that you want. And I've never noticed this before in my life, but I've just seen that yellow light there right on her solar plexus. So it's about self-confidence. I don't feel like you guys have, or you feel like you don't have enough confidence within yourself to trust that by focusing and putting your energy and your eggs into this basket, that it's going to pay off. I feel as though there's like a fear that other people are really going to judge you, that other people are going to have all these opinions about you, because you're probably actually judging yourself, to be perfectly honest. I feel like you are having the thoughts that you're imagining other people could be having about you. You know, you're not actually receiving anything that tells you, you know, oh, what a loser, you know, you just posted this thing, it was so lame. Like, that hasn't happened, has it? It's you thinking like that. Okay, so, you know, this is about self-love. This is about really needing to, like, care about yourself and what it is that you came here to do. I feel as though there's just so much energy here. It's energy at the moment. I think you guys could even be feeling like a little sluggish. And Jupiter has been like trying to like re-energize you, revitalize you, wake you up to what it is that makes you feel like you're having fun. Like I feel like you're not having enough fun, and that's what Jupiter really wants to bring into your life. There's a lot of forward movement. There's a lot of growth that is happening for you and that can happen for you as you stop needing to, like, I don't know, defend yourself to everybody. Like there's this feeling like you need to, you know, just protect yourself in your own way, like how she is. She's sitting on a meditation pillow. She's created a circle of protection. You know, do your morning rituals so you feel protected, but you can't stay in this bubble forever, you know? At some point, you do need to go out and explore the world, and you do need to go out and communicate with people. I feel like you're having a trouble with putting yourself out there, group 3. I feel like you're having a hard time communicating yourself to other people because you question yourself. You question, am I good enough? You question, is what I'm saying going to hit well enough? You know, do I sound silly? You're just constantly going back and forth. With this Page of Pentacles in reverse at the bottom, it's kind of like, you know, you're not planting the seed because you're not sure about whether you're going to actually be able to grow the seed. And you are. See, this is the challenge. The challenge is learning to believe that you can, and that your creativity is something that can actually bring you abundance and blessings. Because I feel like you feel like there's, like, you see with this void, of course, moon missing and this Saturn, it's like the only way that I can receive is if I do things like conventionally, is if I work a job and I go to university and I, you know, climb up the corporate ladder. All that sort of bullshit. That is kind of a part of like your mindset up until now, where Jupiter is just like, nope, had enough of it, done, you're out, get out. You know, it's time to move forward. So then the other two cards that we had come out was the Ace of Cups and the King of Wands in reverse. So very similar messages. Once again, the King of Wands in reverse is talking about not having that confidence within the self. See, it's a Leo card as well. Again, we have all fire signs and Leo coming out. So there's a lot of Leo. This is really needing to get that self-confidence. Get your spark back by loving on who you are. This Ace of Cups is saying that the challenge you're having is accepting yourself and accepting who you are. It's accepting that you can be really emotional, that your emotions sometimes make you fly off the handle, and you can be a little bit, you know, a little bit rough, a little bit maybe, what's the word, like angry, a little explosive. Let's say explosive. I feel like you can be a little bit explosive, and you actually judge the shit out of yourself when you do that. It's like you have this tendency about you, you know that it's there, you try not to judge it when you are thinking about it like logically, but then when it actually happens, you get mad judgy once again. You're like, when you're in the energy, it's like you just react and it just flips, like you're just like, bleh! But then afterwards, you feel like a sack of shit. You feel like an idiot. You hate on yourself, and then you go down that rabbit hole. So that's where you're needing to, you know, accept these things within you. Accept that. I feel like it's really important for you guys to start paying attention to what triggers you. What makes you angry? Really pay attention to what makes you angry, because what makes you angry is trying to teach you what's wrong. It's trying to teach you where things aren't sitting right within you, where they're not sitting right in life, you know. It's trying to teach you about what it is that you feel like you actually deserve. We have demonized the emotion of anger in our society without realizing that anger, when obviously it can be expressed violently and horrifically and in really, really toxic and negative ways, it is not a toxic emotion in and of itself. It's the way we act around it. It's the way we act with it. It's what we do with the anger. So if you use your anger as a muse, you know, using your anger as a muse for your creative expression. How can you use your anger to express yourself creatively? You know, are you someone that's really, really passionate about the environment, and you get fucking angry when you go for a walk down the beach and you just see all this stupid motherfucking plastic just washed up everywhere, there's crap everywhere, no one gives a crap, there's Macca's things, there's, you know, packets of chips, or just no one cares, you know? That shit makes you angry. What are you going to do with that anger? Are you just going to like throw your arms up on the beach and kick sand and go, fuck these people? What's that going to achieve, you know? Or instead, could you decide, you know what, this anger, I'm going to start a beach cleanup. Every 2 weeks, I'm going to make a Facebook group or an Instagram page, and I'm going to call it Clean Up the Beach Bitches. And every second week, we're going to go down to a different beach, and we're going to clean shit up, and we're going to listen to mad tunes, and we're going to talk about how we can improve the climate, you know. We're going to talk about how we can each do our bit to change the world. That's just an example, you know. It's using your anger as a way to impart change rather than using your anger as a way to inflict more damage and more harm, because it's not just damaging to others, it's damaging to you. It's damaging to your self-conscious, your consciousness, essentially. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you feeling redundant. It keeps you feeling like life is never really going to work out for you because you're mad, you know, like you're angry at life, and life doesn't want you to be angry at it, you know, anymore. So instead of using as anger overtaking you, start to explore how you can use it creatively. You know, could you write a poem? Could you film a really cool Instagram reel that teaches people about like what it is that's made you angry or whatever, you know? Where can you start to do things a little differently? You know, so yeah, with this being the challenge, like it is difficult for you to have this self-compassion, and it really is difficult for you to believe that you have the ability to do this thing. For some of you guys, it's definitely like you want to start a business or you want to start a new job. This is like definitely giving me like someone who wants to create their own finances, who wants to receive even more finances, you know. This doesn't mean that you need to quit your job, but you could like have your job and then you have like a little art business on the side where you paint fucking star sign pictures, you know, on bookmarks. You know, you make bookmarks. Let's just say that you make bookmarks and that's your side hustle. I'm not going to give you guys all my ideas because I got ideas here. I got ideas. But you know, like there's so many different things. But essentially you don't trust and have faith in your ability to do that. I feel like you know, maybe there's someone that has kind of like affected your creativity or your trust in yourself and your self-belief. You could have had like a father figure, you know. It's feeling like a masculine energy that got in the way of your heart, and it's caused a lot of like it's caused a lot of struggle when it comes to having deep self-confidence and trusting yourself and believing in your path. It's made it really difficult for you to open your heart. I feel like at times you've kept your heart closed off, and that's probably where the anger comes from. Instead of you know, you don't want to be hurt. So a lot of the time when we're angry, we're actually really, really hurt. I had something like this came up for me yesterday. I was having a fit. Like I just got ridiculously rageful out of nowhere, and I get next level angry. Like you guys can probably tell by my expression, like I'm really like boom, like kind of all over the place. But you can imagine me when I get mad. I get a little crazy. And so yesterday I was vacuuming and I got so fucking pissed off with how shitty our vacuum is that I ended up like smashing it down on the ground, and my partner was trying to be nice to me and console me and was like, do you want me to make you a tea? And I was like, yeah, okay. And then he's like, what tea do you want? And I ended up just going, the one next to the fucking microwave. Like seriously? Boom. I'm a fucking dick. You know, like sometimes things like that happen, and it's because and then I was thinking about it all day. I was like, why am I so triggered about this vacuum? And I realized because I'm vacuuming my mum's house, and my entire life growing up, we've always had this big ass stupid fucking house. I don't want to say stupid. It's a nice house. But it's all carpet. And my entire life growing up, we never had a vacuum that worked properly. My dad used to sweep the whole house with a broom. Do you know how hard it is to sweep an entire house with a broom? This is a 3-story house that's all carpet. And he had to sweep it with a broom. So you know what? My inner child got triggered. My inner child was like, this is unbelievable. This is not okay. You can, like, you know, I just lost it. And then I took it out on my partner. Someone who means the world to me, who is nothing but someone that comes with love. And, you know, he was trying to take care of me. He was trying to nourish me. He was trying to be kind to me, and instead I told him to go fuck himself, essentially, just like your song. So I do want to tell you guys, you know, try and, I don't want to say like limit your explosions, because I know as well as anybody, when they come up, they come up. You can't always control it. You can't always just like be like, oh, I'm about to have another explosion, I'm just going to turn it off. If I could click my fingers, I would, but I can't click. I have no idea how. I never have, so click. Click my fingers and it's all good. It's fine. No. It's not like that. It's not easy. So it's just becoming aware of why you felt so triggered about something, and then beginning to work on how you can actually work with that differently. For me, I was like, okay, well, how about I create a life for myself where I don't actually have to live with my mother, and I can go live on my own and live my own life and buy my own vacuum, you know? Taking my personal power back. So, you know, that's just an example of my life and how like this energy is kind of played out. You know, it's obviously going to apply to you differently, but it's just really needing to like keep a lid maybe on that crazy that likes to come out. But also like big time, getting your power back, getting your fire back. The hardest thing I can really feel like for you is it's getting your passion back, getting inspired, feeling powerful. It's bravery too. You need to be brave. I feel like you're having a hard time with getting the courage that it takes to have this new beginning. For some of you guys, it is, yes, the business, but for some of you guys as well, this is a relationship. So it's like you've been hurt so many times in the past. You might even have children that could be involved in things. And so, you know, you've obviously got to think about that and take responsibility for that as well. And so that adds another layer of like, oh, well, should I, shouldn't I? That's why you're judging, trying to figure out the best way to move about things. Some of you guys, you know, it's this relationship and deciding whether I should actually move forward with it or not. Is this person someone that's going to nourish me and take care of me? Yes, I'm really attracted to them, but are they just a fuckboy? You know, that kind of shit. So with your challenge being all that, essentially love, baby. Your heart needs care. Your heart needs nourishment. Your heart needs you to really focus on giving it attention. You know, you need to give yourself attention. I feel like you give other people a lot of attention, but you don't give yourself enough attention, if that makes any sense. So anyway, let's have a look at the lesson. What is the lesson specifically? The lesson, ooh. Yes, I fucking knew. The 5 of Wands. Just like group 2. The lesson for you guys is essentially, yours is a little bit of a different message to group 2 though. This is talking about, once again, not flying off your handle. 5 of Wands talks about a competition. It talks about fighting with other people. It talks about, you know, look at them. They're all trying to get to that one thing, and they're pushing each other around and fighting each other to try and get there. So the lesson essentially that you are learning, your lesson is you figuring out how to go at things on your own without losing faith in yourself, because there's so many other people that might be like, that might have opinions, or that might be involved, or that might also be doing the thing that you want to do. So with this Knight of Wands coming out, it's like your lesson is essentially learning to like push through, learning to continue on, even when you feel like you're at the end of your rope, even when you feel like you have lost all of your motivation, when you've lost all of your willpower, when you've lost that sense of that spark and that sense of creativity within you. The lesson is like reminding you that essentially you have the power to go ahead and take what it is that you want. See, with these cards, he's reaching for that, she's reaching for that. She's in the reverse, he's in the upright. So, you know, I feel like there's something that you're reaching for. There's something that you're wanting to move towards, that you want to gain, that you want to manifest, that you want to bring into your life. And the lesson is having patience with yourself as you do this, as you manifest it. And it's also having focus and diligence in how you go about receiving it. You know, this is being creative and being playful and having fun and things. Is something that's probably going to bring more energy to your spirit. I feel like with this 9 of Pentacles in reverse, there's this need, this desire for self-sufficiency, but you don't fully trust that you are in a position to receive it. I feel like, you know, maybe you feel like there's too many people that you need to be responsible for. So how could I just indulge myself and follow in my creative pursuits? How can I just, you know, go ahead and build something brand new and start this creative thing when I have so many mouths to feed, things to take care of, and it's needing to find you know, that inner spark of positivity again, that little child within you who was curious, who said, well, what can I do? Instead of thinking about what can't you do, it's time to start thinking about what can you do. It's not a question of, you know, whether you can or can't do something. It's a question of whether you're willing to believe that it's possible for you, okay? So, you know, the lesson is teaching you how to be self-sustainable, how to be self-sufficient, because in your past you kind of haven't been, in the sense that maybe, of course, like, you know, like I was saying, like I still live with my fucking mother. I'm 27 years old. I may have only just moved back home a month ago and I'm moving again in a few months, but still, I ain't got my shit together whatsoever. And I feel like, you know, I've had jobs, I've had money, I've got a car, I drive, you know, I'm a functioning member of society most of the time, but I still don't feel like free in my own existence, like I'm living my own like proper life. And I feel like you can relate to that. I feel like you guys in your own way can relate to the fact that you don't feel solid and stable on your own 2 feet. You don't feel like you're really filled up with what it is that you want to do, and you know, you don't feel like you're living exactly how, you know, your spirit intended. Because I feel there is like a huge rising in us as a collective, as our human society, realizing that what we do every day is fucking important. Our jobs, our career is really important, because it's what you do every day. If you are not enjoying what you're doing every single day, then that doesn't equal a happy life. And so this is you wanting to find what it is that makes you feel happy, provided for, sensual, what makes you feel abundant, what makes you feel creative and prosperous. For some of you guys, it's gardening. For some of you guys, it is nature. It's building, it's weaving things. It's doing things that remind you of your ancestors, you know? I'm seeing these 2 cards as you know, getting back into practices that your ancestors did, you know? Did your ancestors weave? Did they cook? Did they play music? What was their thing, you know? And all of us have ancestors. No matter what color you are, no matter where you're from, you have ancestors. They come from somewhere. You were native to somewhere at some point, you know? All us, you know, European folks and that, you all are native to somewhere. For me, I'm Irish and I'm English and I'm German and my dad's Aboriginal. So, you know, I've got a lot of European influences, but then I also have my Australian, you know, my Aboriginal ancestry. And so it's kind of like finding those practices that your ancestors connected with. And this is something that I listened to recently that I found really interesting, and it kind of spoke to me. It talked about, who do you look like? Okay, who do you look like? So me, I obviously look Caucasian as fuck. I look European. I don't look Aboriginal. So for me, I feel like a lot of the ancestral work and healing that I need to do has a lot to do with my European side, because that's the way I look. Now, that doesn't obviously apply to absolutely, like, it's not a blanket statement, because a lot of people, we're mixed, you know, completely mixed. You might look like 20 different things in one person. So, you know, it's just connecting with the ancestry that really speaks to you at the time, because you're going to feel different ebbs and flows at different times. It just changes like that, you know. A few years ago, I became extremely engulfed in my Aboriginal ancestry, and I was like trying to find everything about it. And at the moment, I'm sort of going through like an integration process where I'm just accepting things, and then I'm going to start exploring again further, like down the road. So it's kind of like just ebbing and flowing with all that sort of stuff. But anyway, huge sidetrack, fucking tangent. But yeah, doing things ancestrally that fill you up is really going to be a good lesson for you, because I feel like you have really creative ancestors. I feel like you have quite active ancestors, and so that's probably why for you guys specifically, you know, I feel like your ancestors are mentoring you and they're taking you under their wing. And, you know, when you feel inspired to try something that your ancestors did, know that that is them literally guiding you into this you know, thing. So Let's have a look. Let's just ask how things are going to look after this retrograde. How are things going to look at the end of all this when the lesson has been learned and integrated? Yes, how good's that? Look, now we have the Queen of Wands. See how before we had the King of Wands, but he was in the reverse? Look, now we have the Queen of Wands. So this is, when you heal this, when you integrate these lessons, you're going to have so much creativity. Like, you are a fiery fucking person, and instead of your fire making you explode in anger and rage, and instead of feeling like you can't control the fire, you're going to feel as though you are like literally, look, she's like creating the fire in her hands. Like, you know what I'm kind of getting? Like, it's almost like an image of a superhero who, let's say, like, I don't know if there's any superheroes that have fire that shoots from their hands. There probably is, and I don't know about them. So I'm just going to make up Fire Hand Man. Okay? Fire Hand Man wakes up one day. Oh, no. He doesn't wake up one day. Let's just say he's a kid or whatever, and, you know, all these bullies at school are picking on him, and he doesn't know that he has this power, but all of a sudden he starts to get his hands all hot, and he's like, what's going on? And then just fire shoots out of his hands. Pew, 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 pew. And they burn all these little kid friends that are attacking him, and there's a big kerfuffle. You know, he doesn't know how to control it. So every time when he's growing up, people attack him when they make him uncomfortable, when they make him upset. It's kind of like Harry in Harry Potter before he knew that he was a wizard. You know, when he was upset or if he's afraid, he made things happen. So it's like making things happen, setting fire to things accidentally. Eventually, as you learn to master this energy, you learn, Fire Hand Man learns how to shoot the fire from his palms without any, you know, he learns to do it himself. He doesn't need a bully to like fear him into it, to upset him into it. He can just do it on his own. So this is learning to harness this power within you. You are going to be ridiculously powerful. See that black cat in the front there too? That's you like holding these beautiful shadows to your heart. So the shadows that you have, you know, that angry side of you, you're not getting rid of it. You're not telling it that it's worthless and that it doesn't belong here. This is you accepting and integrating it because it's a part of you, and it's a powerful part of you. And that is a part of you that gives you strength. Your anger is something that gives you strength, you know? The way you feel so passionately about things is not a weakness. It is a strength. And in the past, you might have thought of it like a weakness because society wants us to all be robots and to just like keep producing and keep working all the time. And who are we? We must be fucked up if we have a reaction to this society, if we feel depressed, or if we have to like put ourselves out for a while and like take a breather, take a break. Heaven forbid, you know? Being sarcastic is shit. This society's fucked. But anyway, so much confidence, so much radiance, so much attractiveness. With this King and Queen of Wands, like, you are a sexy motherfucker. I feel like you're going to be getting sexier and sexier. Jupiter's like giving you a glow up when it comes to how you look, and I feel like you're glowing up because you're actually going to be happy, you know? How different do people look when they're actually happy? How different do people look when they aren't suffering anymore? Like, we could be 10 years older and look better than we did an earlier 10 years prior because of how we feel. You know? We've all seen it. We've all seen people who, you know, they're in their 40s and they've lived a really tough life, and then, you know, during their 40s, maybe something happens. Maybe they go through an amazing awakening and they start doing what they love. Yeah? Well, then you meet them again at 50, and that person that is 50 now looks younger than they were at 40 because they're filled with this exuberance, you know, the inner child comes out, the youthfulness comes out. Youthfulness comes out of us when we allow ourselves to create. When we allow that little inner child within us to be and to express and to, you know, live. So bottom of the deck, we have Strength in reverse. So this is you learning to literally, look, and the Chariot as well. This is you, you're heading into your soul's purpose. And your soul's purpose, it's going to really become activated when you learn to not let your anger be something that destroys you anymore. This is, you know, this Strength card, and this one in particularly, it's like taming the lion within. Part lion, part woman, of course, you know. See that? there is a lion within you. Look at all this lion energy too. Like a lot of lion symbolism. A lot of you guys are Leos. You have Leo placements. Some of you guys could have North Node in Leo. But yeah, essentially this is like, you know, becoming softer. See how that lamb is there? Like literally, the lion is not killing that lamb. The lion is instead integrating herself. You know, this is an integrated version of you where your anger no longer causes pain. Instead, it is a source of power and abundance, and it is something that people really look up to you for and about. And then we have the King of Cups in reverse with the World. So this is getting control of your emotions. This is closing out an emotional chapter. At the end of this Jupiter retrograde cycle, you are not going to feel as emotionally turbulent as you do now. See this card, how happy she looks? She's going to be like walking on cloud nine. Like she's just like, woohoo, like I'm free. Like I literally feel as though you guys are going to feel so much more free at the end of this retrograde, because I feel like your emotions aren't going to be what's weighing you down anymore. It's not going to be, you know, this feeling like I'm drowning in my own feelings. You know, I'm drowning in the way I feel. I'm drowning in my own, you know, essence. Okay, so let's just get some advice now, because once again, every one of these readings has been way too long. I didn't mean to, but I did. Okay, strength again at the bottom of the deck for you. It says, this challenge will make you stronger. You will get through to the other side. Look for the gifts in this situation. So there are a lot of gifts that are coming for you. This situation itself is a major blessing. Your anger is a blessing. The way you feel is a blessing. This entire retrograde period is, you're going to look back on it in hindsight and be like, I can really see how my life changed right then, because, and you're going to be able to see what you actually physically did to change it too, because it's your physical vitality. I feel like it's the energy that you're going to feel again, because some of you guys, maybe you haven't exercised in a long time, you haven't been moving your physical body. You're going to be really moving your body and trying new things and exploring new things and playing creatively and letting your inner child out, which is going to change your entire world. Okay? So then we have prosperity and imagination coming out. Yeehaw! I love that. And that's imagination. So prosperity says, a gift of money is on its way. Your income is increasing. Manage finances with love. Yes, so that's the thing. For some of you guys who want to start like new businesses or want to start a new job and things like that, trust that money is coming. The money is increasing. Jupiter is always here to bring blessings, you know, even when it's retrograde, even when it's in a harsh aspect, Jupiter is benefic planet. It is a beneficial planet. It's a planet that is trying to bring us blessings. It doesn't want to bring us pain. That is where we need to learn discernment between overdoing things and, you know, essentially, you know, just having that balance, because Jupiter does bring indulgence. So, you know, not spending too much, not eating too much, not overworking yourself, not exercising too much and stuff like that. But essentially your income is increases, and managing your finances with love, managing your business with love, managing your all of your money with love. You know, every time you receive money into your bank account, thank you God, I am so blessed. Thank you God, I am so blessed. Thank you God, I am so blessed. My abundance increases exponentially every day. Every dollar I spend, I make 3 times back. Every dollar I spend, I make 3 times back. Every dollar I spend, I make 3 times back. Filling yourself with these beliefs, you know, filling yourself with these beliefs, with this confidence that you can attract and receive whatever it is that you want, because this is a really attractive card. You're going to attract everything it is that you want. But it takes mastering sort of yourself and mastering the aspects of you that are a little bit like, boom! Okay, so then we have imagination. Envision a new reality. Give yourself permission to dream and believe in unlimited possibilities. Believe in the dream again. Yes, when you were a kid, you had so many fantasies and you let all of them disappear and you told yourself that they weren't plausible, that they didn't make sense, and I'm here to remind you that they did. They always did, and they always will. And you haven't forgotten about them because you're not meant to, because your inner child really wants you to act upon them, okay? So use that imagination of yours, use that imagination to get creative, use it to, you know, get creative about different ways of earning money, get creative about different ways of talking to people, you know, different things that you want to do. Maybe you've always been someone that like goes out to meet people at bars and stuff, and maybe now you're like, you know what, instead of going to a bar, I'm going to go to a pottery and sip class, or like a, what is it, paint and sip, you know, something like that, where you go to meet more like-minded creative people and you end up making hell mad friends. Okay, so now let's, as your final card, I'm going to read this out of the book because I love it. We're just going to get a message for the god or goddess that is working with you over this Jupiter retrograde. So what is the message that you have? Okay. Ooh, bottom of the deck, we have Hathor. Soul family. Beautiful. I love this card so freaking much. Like I was saying, ancestors, man. Your ancestors really are very, very much around this group. Very much around this group. Very much trying to guide you towards things that make you feel, you know, like a queen, like a king, like a god, like a goddess. Things that culturally for you really signify abundance and luxury and peace and truth, because it's different for everyone. It's different for every single culture. This is like, you know, there's no umbrella that'll fit everything, you know? So it's what works for you. For some of you guys as well, like going out and watching the sunset, especially if you can watch the sunset over water or sunrise over water, that's going to really, really help you feel connected to your ancestors, and just really take time to speak to them and things like that, okay? So we have Hathor, and we also had Rhiannon. Ooh, Inner Strength. I haven't got that card before. So some of you guys have horses as your spirit animals, because we have a lot of horses out here. Horses and lions for you guys. So lions are all about courage and bravery, and horses are all about freedom. So this is having the freedom to set yourself free, being brave enough to, you know, walk your own path, to follow your creativity, to speak out on what makes you angry, and to use that as a source of passion and fire. Because when you think about anything, anyone that has ever made huge change, you know, activists from the old days and things like that. Think about someone like Eddie Mabo. He didn't go and fucking create a whole new paradigm without being angry about the way things were. You know, he didn't go out and create something, you know, fucking kick up a stink because things were perfect. No, he did it because he was angry, because he was being treated like a piece of shit. He had to do that. Anger is not something to be ashamed of. Anger is something to use as fuel. Without that anger, he would not have been able to affect change the way he was. Think about everyone. Martin Luther King, you know, Gandhi. There are so, I don't know about Gandhi. There are so many people out there who have used their anger as their source of inspiration. And that's like you guys, okay? So anyway, I'm like just ranting. Let's read Rhiannon. Like, I'm getting really like passionate in this group. Like, boom, boom, I really want to speak. Okay. Rhiannon, Inner Strength. Don't give up now. You can do this. Rhiannon is a Welsh lady of the other world whose name means Great Queen. She features in medieval manuscripts called the Mabinogion. Rhiannon twice avoided arranged marriages and was falsely accused of murdering her own baby. Refusing to blame those who wronged her, she instead rose above adversity by taking command of her female power. Rhiannon worked from within an unjust social structure to improve her circumstances, rather than trying to escape it entirely. What the fuck did I just say? Like, is that not ridiculously on point with even the story I was just talking about with Eddie Mabo and people like Martin Luther King and stuff? Come on. A goddess of strength and sovereignty, Rhiannon encourages us to heal the inner victim. Her many symbols include the moon, white mares, moonstones, and white flowers. Beautiful Rhiannon rides in on a white horse, bathing you in her moonlit glow. She sees that you need a reminder of your inner strength. Jumping down from her saddle, she confidently takes your arm in hers as you walk together through a magical forest. It may feel as if life is stacked against you, or that your challenges are just too much to bear, Rhiannon says softly. I see the weight upon your back, the uphill climb, the obstacles in your path. Let's set your burdens down for a moment. As you gaze into my eyes, I invoke your great spiritual powers of endurance. You are made for this life of determined empowerment, and you will now reach your destination. Don't crumble now, you have what it takes to go the distance. I will never ask you to ignore your suffering or fatigue, but your instant remedy is to remember your sovereignty and greatness. Recall your enormous capacity to triumph within seemingly impossible circumstances. Reflect upon your inspiring perseverance in the face of any oppressive system that doesn't honor you. Stay devoted to the path that's calling now. You're stronger than you know. Additional meanings. If you're feeling defeated or overwhelmed, ask for help. Don't let the past define your present. This relationship or situation requires your commitment now. Your current challenge holds a hidden gift. Second time we've heard that. This holds a big gift. Invocation. Challenges and adversity bring forth my majestic strength. That's right. These adversities are bringing the true you out. And the true you is one hell of a powerful, radiant, passionate, fiery, just intensely powerful being. You're intense as fuck. You are my group that is like here to like do big things. Okay, Hathor, soul family, destined reunions, support for your journey is here. Beloved to ancient Egyptians for over 3,000 years, Hathor is a goddess of light, joy, and gratitude. She was a guardian spirit of women and nourished the universe with her milk, including her son Ra. Her temples were full of dancing, music, and pleasure. Her symbols are the sun and moon, a lioness, a winged cow, a sycamore tree, and a rattle used at celebrations. Queen of both the underworld and the sky, this multi-talented goddess manifested as the 7 Hathors who appeared at a child's birth and foretold its destiny. In goddess spirituality, Hathor presides over the moon temples, sacred gatherings that draw together ancient soul circles to receive divine downloads and worship the goddess. Crap, your reading's an hour. If you are still here, what the fuck? I love you. A magical time of reconnecting with your soul family has arrived. When you incarnated in this lifetime, your soul planned to reunite with its ancient lineage. Kindred spirits that you knew in previous lifetimes, both on Earth and in the cosmos. You don't have to know how this will happen. It's written in the stars that you'll be brought together. When you meet members of your soul family, it's an instant and intuitive recognition of mutual understanding and emotional safety. You won't need to analyze why you feel so seen and supported by them. It can be an unspoken knowing that brings relief from a previously solitary soul-guided path. Yeah, that makes sense. Your soul family will always want you to shine brightly. They won't be threatened by your expansion or successes. On the contrary, some of them will go out of their way to help you achieve your spiritual mission. Yes, this is important for you because you don't need people that are jealous of you. Fuck that. It's like I was saying before with the judge thing. Are other people judging you because they're jealous of the light that you exude? Were you bullied because you did things differently and other people didn't like it because they don't do it themselves, you know? This may be a time of reinitiation into the moon temples where you'll rediscover sacred teachings, engage in magical rituals, and connect with lunar cycles. Additional meanings. You share an important soul connection with this person. Let Hathor guide the relationship. So obviously there's a significant relationship that's here, whether it's a mentor, a guide, a family member, a new lover, someone that's coming into your field, someone that just, you'll know who they are because you'll be thinking of them straight away. You'll think of them right now. Like, you know who they are. So this person is very much meant to be a member of your soul family. They're a part of your soul tribe, and they are here to really help to expand and open your heart. Invocation. More additional meanings. Receive motherly love from a parent, friend, or a group who can look after you. Join a dancing, singing, or music class. Invocation. Did I say that with you guys, or did I say that with the other group? The other group, we were talking about like belly dancing classes and things like that. So I feel like it wasn't you guys. So I'm going to say, like, with all this creativity as well, and this courage, just like having the courage to try new things, like trying a new dance class. If it's something that you've wanted to do for ages, but you kind of feel really scared about it, just go do the damn thing. You will be so excited. You will get so much confidence in yourself when you do it. And it's going to help you with your energy levels. Invocation. I am not alone. My soul family are arriving to lift me up. So you are not alone as you're going through this. There's a lot of people that are also going through similar experiences to you. You know, you've picked a pile that a bunch of other people are going to pick as well. So you're not the only person that is struggling through this. Know that there's other people that are out here to help you. You know, even if you guys want to drop in the comments, hey, I'm from pile 3. Is there any other soul tribe out here who's having a hard time, who wants some like love? Have a chat, you know, make new friends. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this reading here now because we've just talked for a fucking hour. If you're still here with me, I cannot believe you. Thank you so much for still being here. Let me know what's going on with you. Let me know how it resonated and all that sort of stuff. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through the description box below. My link to my website will be there. You can check me out on Instagram too. I'm becoming a little bit more consistent on there. I'm also starting a blog in the next week. So if you guys want to check out my blog, I'm going to link that down below as well. It's on my website. So if you're interested in learning about spirituality and tarot and astrology and all that sort of shit, that's where I'm going to be tapping away. Because you guys can hear me talk. Can you imagine me writing? So yeah, I love you. Give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't, if you're new to the Vibe Tribe. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. I do want to say thank you to your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding us in all moments, for allowing us to receive and deliver this beautiful high vibe healing message for you. May this Jupiter retrograde be extremely life-changing in all of the best and most beautiful ways. Okay, I love you so much, my friend, and I will see you in the next reading. Peace. Bye.